Good evening. Are you feeling glad all over? Because I know Pards is. It's the final word with Majestic alongside the former Eagles man himself, Palace player and gaffer, Alan Pardew, who knows a thing or two about scoring against Liverpool and big games for Crystal Palace. And yes, the Eagles soared to another historic Wembley win, this time in the Community Shield this afternoon against Liverpool. The game ended 2-2 normal time, wide open, thrilling encounter before Palace won 3-2 on penalties. Dean Henderson, once again, the hero. So Palace fans, come and celebrate with your former gaffer. He's over there, Alan Pardew. And Liverpool fans, a superb debut goal by Hugo Ekitike. But this dampened your excitement coming into the season after Palace's frontline caused your defence a lot of issues. The phone lines are open, 03 717 22 3344. Perhaps, rather than breaking the bank for Isak, maybe you need to go and buy Gahey from Crystal Palace. Palace fans won't let me saying that. Elsewhere, the friendlies are finished with Arsenal and Man City cruising the wins, Manchester United drawing a normal time, and Newcastle losing. We'll be discussing their roller coaster pre-season during the show. Remember, we're live on YouTube in our beautiful new studio and also on your smart TV. So come and see us in the brilliant new studio in full HD. But now it's all about you and your opinions. 03 717 22 3344. But before we bring in Mr. Alan Pardew, DJ Kitch, hit that music. I'm feeling Go on, Pards, give us a little rendition.
Glad all over.
That's right, glad all over. Palace win the Community Shield, another trophy for Palace. Pards. They're like buses.
Unbelievable. And they deserved it, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did.
Second half, they were by far, I thought, the team that looked fitter, stronger, more intent about them.
Yeah.
Liverpool was sort of fading as it went. And so, to win in the penalty shootout was not an injustice. Dean Henderson again keeps saving penalties, doesn't he?
Looking at his bottle as well.
His bottle, yeah.
Luckily, that didn't get thrown into the crowd.
No. But another great day for Palace fans who will be travelling home. Extremely pleased.
Of course, it was an emotional day for Liverpool fans and supporters as the first competitive game since the passing of Diogo Jota. And ironically, or, universally crazy, on the 20th minute, when they clapped, that's where Frimpong scored the goal. Yeah,
bizarre, isn't it?
Really bizarre.
It was an emotional moment for everybody, but it's just such a situation for Liverpool. They're gonna, and they got the first game of the season to come. Well, there'll be more, and it'll carry on through the season, and rightly so, because he was such a great inspirational character for them, and they missed him actually in the playing side, didn't they, today?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where people are asking now in terms of the creativity for Liverpool. Perhaps that's when they need a couple. Lost Diaz, unfortunately losing Jota, of course. Nunes is gone now, etc. The whole Isak thing still goes on. But
Salah was very quiet today, wasn't he? I thought that he's down that side with Mitchell and Gahey, of course. Real strengths of Palace, but he didn't really get a look in. He had one really good chance that he actually hit centrally that I can remember, but it wasn't like he's fluid best. I don't think Liverpool were at their fluid best. They had some lovely moments at the start, and you can see, why our commentary team were talking about the quality of Wirtz in particular. Some of his one-touch play was beautiful to watch.
Really good indeed.
So there was some highs for Liverpool as much as they've got beat.
And then Palace, from a Palace perspective, as a looked good as always. Gay looked solid. Sarr looked really, really good today. I thought Mateta's shot was funny at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's one of those strikers that has that moment in him where he balloons one. But actually, some of his playing.
I'm going to have to stop you there, Pards.
Okay.
I think a red card in the Leicester Sheffield Wednesday game. Let's go over to Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and the Owls are down to 10 men. Barry Bannon has got 2 yellow cards in quick succession. The second one for sliding in and catching Harry Winks. So they're going to have to play the last 13 minutes with 10 men. Leicester, all the possession, all the pressure, but it was Chalobah's goal cancelled out by Vestergaard. We're still all square here. It's Leicester 1, 10-man, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Thank you very much, Jeff Peters. We'll have the final score update from Jeff as well. Sorry, Pards. I don't know to interrupt you, but it was red card.
Well, that's thrown me now because Barry, I was only speaking to him this week, who signed that 3-year contract at Sheffield Wednesday, even though they've got no money. And an absolutely brilliant ambassador for the football club and the captain. And there he goes getting sent off for, well, I'm only assuming they're 2 yellow cards. They probably weren't severe ones, but obviously he's marching down. And his team now, what have they got? About 13, with the added minutes, about 18 minutes to sort of cling on, which would be a great result for them.
That'd be a massive result, considering that they weren't even expected to play. Didn't know if they had teams. Can Crystal Palace keep hold of these players?
Well, that's a big test, and the manager has now won two trophies in the last year of his contract, and I'm pretty sure he won't sign a new contract if he don't see some new bodies coming in, because he'll want to take the club forward, like all managers do. So for that reason, he'll be very, very determined to hold on. I do think Gahey will go because he's only got a year left on his contract.
Yeah,
he's probably the best player in the Premier League, I think, who's got a year left. So the chances are he will go. I'm pretty confident they'll have someone lined up to replace him. Eze's a difficult one because he's still got plenty of contract room, but a lot of interest.
Absolutely.
From your boys, them in, the whites of Spurs and the red of Arsenal.
Well, we're going to talk later on about transfers and the way it starts at the top and then trickles down.
Yeah.
Once the big boys do their business, then everyone else kind of fights for what's left.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to see is Arsenal's move, I think, in terms of, there's talk of Rodrigo. If, for example, if Arsenal go and get a Rodrigo, then obviously Spurs can go for an Eze, for example.
Oh, as I'm saying, I think the Eze one's a difficult one. Whether Palace really, really are going to move him, the rumour is 40, 50 million will get him. That is possible, I'm sure. He's a player that even Palace fans will tell you there were moments last season, he had sort of 10, 20 games where nothing really was happening. Then he burst into life.
Apparently they call him Springtime Eze.
Yeah, that's right. When the weather comes, he excels. But, I'm a great admirer of him. I love the fact that he takes the ball under massive pressure, and there's not many Palace players who have been able to do that over the years. And he gives an articulate kind of look to their attack, which, take it out, almost impossible to replace.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that possible handball as well with McAllister.
Yeah.
That looked like it was a handball.
Yeah, I couldn't work out. They go to VAR. Obviously, I think Gahey puts the cross in. It's pinpoint. It's literally landing on Sarr's head, and it hits him on the arm. So therefore, for me, it was a definite penalty. I couldn't understand. The referee obviously didn't give it. Maybe he didn't see it, but the VAR, I didn't understand that. Well,
listen, if you're a Palace fan, you want to celebrate with your former gaffer and player, 03717 223344. If you're a Liverpool fan, you want to discuss the season ahead, just like Aidan, who we're about to speak to, then 03717 223344. Let's speak to Aidan. He was at the game. Good afternoon, Aidan.
How we doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not bad at all. What did you make of that today?
Nightmare. 4 hours to get there for last 30 minutes. Slot took the striker off. There was no striker. There was no one playing up top. It was the craziest decision I've ever seen.
What did you make of that, Pods?
Well, maybe it wasn't a crazy decision. Maybe it was the manager saying to the board, could do with another striker here. Do you know what I mean? Almost a statement.
Ekitike was on at the beginning. He scored. He was linking up.
Yeah, no, he was great. He did tire, though.
Tire, come on, 90 minutes. They can play 90 minutes. They're professional football. They're surely to God.
Yeah, well, it's pre-ish. But, my point being that, managers don't think they don't do that when they want to nudge something over the line or, sort of make a point about something in the team that needs strengthening. So them not having a striker at the end, Liverpool, may have been a little bit of a manager tease there.
What did you make of the early... What do you make of the early goal, though? Ekitike looks really good, doesn't he?
Yeah, brilliant goal. But the other thing as well, what was annoying was when the second penalty missed, everyone got up and left. Everybody got up and left. You mean, let's stand and support. Let's show him what, you know what I mean? Everybody got up and left. It was just a bad trip all around, to be honest.
Okay.
Do you think, for example, we see what it meant to Palace, those fans and the players. Do you think with Liverpool today, it was just almost like another pre-season friendly rather than a real...
Yeah, it kind of felt like that, but Palace, in my opinion, at the beginning of the game, we're having a moment's silence for Jota. Everyone should have been respectful. They're all chanting and screaming. Show a bit of decorum, show some class.
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't see that on the TV. I'm disappointed if that's true. But, I mean, what I would say is Palace definitely added more of a desire to win the game. I think that was very evident in the second half. Having said that, you know, that game usually is like a pre-season between two giants, Man United v Liverpool or something like that, or Arsenal, whatever. City. Yeah, and they kind of, you know, it kind of peters out. I mean, Leicester, I think, beat Man City, didn't they?
Yeah.
1 year in that. So it's not unusual for this sort of result to happen. But it's great for Palace because, you know, bless them, their trophy cabinet now has 2 trophies where it had none.
Jake's message, I said, come on, guys, be real. Eze's an Arsenal fan. If we come in, he's probably gone. Champions League football with a chance of winning the Premier League. Eze is our missing piece. That's from Jake, the Arsenal fan. Didn't Eze play for Arsenal as a kid?
He did, yeah.
And didn't they get rid of him?
Yep.
Oh, don't forget that, Mr. Eze.
Yeah.
They didn't want you once, pal.
Yeah, that's right. And now suddenly they want you for 40 million.
Yeah.
Bit of an error there.
Liverpool fans, what do you think of Virgil van Dijk telling our very own Alex Crook that you don't have forwards?
Well, yeah, as I say, there are points in the season where, you know, captain or the manager will make their point, particularly when the window's open, that maybe, you know, there's a little bit of a hole to fill.
And Palace fans, come celebrate with Pards and keep hold. And can you keep hold of your talented squad? And of course, manager 03 717 22 33 If you're feeling glad all over, it's Madge and Pards on the final word here on talkSPORT. Right, before we get glad all over, there's been a goal in the Leicester Sheffield Wednesday game. Let's go to Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester City 2, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 1. Hearts broken for the visitors here. Wout Faes has scored it. He's come off the bench. Him and Vestergaard are Leicester's scorers here. Not sure too many would have had those on their coupons today. But Fast got on the end of El Kanous's corner from the right-hand side. He just guided it over the keeper, Pierce Charles, who just a few moments earlier had made an incredible save from Patson Daka. Looks like Leicester have turned it around late on in this game. But Wednesday coming once again, and one of their players goes down in the penalty area. It's Jamal Lowe, nothing doing from the referee. Well, this feels harsh on Wednesday because they have been terrific. The spirit today, amazing. But with 2 minutes of normal time remaining, it's Leicester City 2, 10-man Sheffield Wednesday 1. It's live on talkSPORT 2.
Thank you very much, Jeff Peters. There was, at the start of that game, the Leicester fans gave the Sheffield Wednesday fans a standing ovation as they went to their seats in solidarity.
Amazing.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was just watching that goal back. They're a little bit unlucky there because obviously they're down to 10 men and the subbers are literally, obviously, lack of communication, completely unmarked because you're always designated who you're marking, and whoever's come off, maybe Barry was involved some other way, but the message hasn't got, he's completely free and ended up getting the winner. They'll be kicking themselves over that.
Right, we've got a couple of Crystal Palace fans that want to join us here on the final word this evening. Don't forget that number is 03 717 22 3344. And George is feeling glad all over. He was at the game. Good evening, George.
Good evening.
Another trophy, mate. You greedy. 2 trophies in the space of a couple of months.
You know what? Brilliant. But I tell you what, I feel like they kind of let us have it. We worked hard, but it wasn't good enough tonight.
Well, you're actually disappointed.
No, I would never say disappointed. You should never be disappointed with a result like that. But you just kind of you have to take it for what it is. I feel like they let off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Palace second half bossed the game to a degree. Every time they went forward, as you say, Liverpool defensively didn't look sound, Madge, did they?
No.
And it looked like, but it's nice to hear some Palace fans coming on, winning a trophy, even with penalties, and be slightly disappointed.
Well, let's see if Charlie's more glad all over.
Yeah.
The game. Charlie, are you a bit more happier than George?
Yeah, I'm pretty glad all over, to be fair.
Yeah.
I would be. You've got another trophy.
Yeah, I know. I think we're the nuts, to be honest.
Oh, that's what I want to hear from the fan.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Listen, you've just beat the champions at Wembley. 2 games at Wembley in a row. Well, 3 games in a row because they won there as well against
Semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably his better performance than the other 2. They were brilliant in that game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I do think we're going to keep hold of our players, to be honest. I just can't see why the first time in the club's history we've got to this point, all of our best players are from South London. I don't see why they'd want to move on.
Okay, this is a great question. Great question for Pards here, Charlie, because, Pards is a manager. How do you convince these lads, as Charlie's saying, South London boys, you've just won, you're creating history at the club. How do you get them to stay?
Well, it's difficult because, the big clubs do carry weight. But, Palace can now literally say, well, we can win trophies. And how are we going to... can't you help us to overturn these big clubs? And that's the problem Aston Villa are finding and Palace are going to find. And Everton and West Ham have found over the years that you get a team that is going to challenge them and then it gets disrupted by the big clubs, but they can't buy your best players. So it is a sort of catch-22 situation. They have a big decision on Monday, whether they get back into Europa League. I think that...
Do you think that affects people's decisions?
Well, I think it might sway their decision a little bit because it's going to only be a positive thing if they go back in. I mean, if they was to not win, which I think is probably likely, that will be a blow to everybody at Crystal Palace who's worked so damn hard to get the FA Cup and now this trophy. So it's a blow, but you can't. There's no way that Oliver's going to sit down with Eze and say to him, "Look, you can't go."
I'm going to stop you there because we can hear from Oliver Glasner now as Alex Crook is speaking to him at Wembley.
Thanks very much for joining us live on talkSPORT. It's becoming a habit, this, isn't it? Coming to Wembley and going home with silverware.
Yes, but it's a good habit, and of course we are Very pleased lifting a trophy in front of our fans again, but for me it's more important is the performance, and such a great performance at the beginning of the season really gives us a good feeling and a lot of confidence for the upcoming season. Players did so well, also how they dealt with the circumstances, being 1-0 down with the first shot, coming back, scoring the equaliser, and all of a sudden being 2-1 down without even a chance of Liverpool, and the direction was great again. We always kept going, we always kept our belief. We played forward, created chances, and then we got the reward with the equaliser and with the win on penalties.
I was just earwigging a conversation between one of your new signings, Borna Souza and Wataru Endo of Liverpool, and he said that's what we are. We're a very difficult team to beat. Is that your DNA now? You've come back from behind twice today. You're a tough nut to crack.
Yes, we're talking about it quite often. Is, we always want to play with our personality and our identity, and then it's sports. You can be down, you can be up, but if you play who you are and how you want to play, then you can lose a game, but you never lose your personality and your identity. And this is what we want, because this is what defines us, not a win or a defeat. We are defined by which characters we are, and this is what we are talking about. And this is what gets more and more implemented into the players, and again I think today they showed it, that we always keep believing, we always keep going, we always keep playing forward, that's why we could win today.
And that character epitomised by your captain Mark Gay, another excellent performance from him today. Obviously there's been a lot of suggestions that maybe clubs will try and sign him in this window. Are you 100% confident that he will stay, because he's so important for you?
What is today on 10th of August, no one can be 100% sure that a player stays. Transfer window is open. Of course, we all wish that Mark stays and extends his contract, but I mention it so often, it's Mark's decision at the end, so he has to sign it. Nobody can do it instead of him. But he showed today that he's 100% Crystal Palace, he's 100% our captain, because this is how he performed today, and this gives us confidence that he will play for us this season as well.
And just finally for me, obviously it's another big day for Palace tomorrow, when you hope to hear the verdict of your appeal against that Europa League suspension. Are you confident? Have you spoken to Steve Parish, he was over there, that it can go your way?
We still hope, hoping, and great Sunday, and hopefully we get a great Monday again as well. But no, I don't know, and I will. TV will be on the whole day, and as soon as we get the verdict, we will know, and we will accept it. So we have no other possibility. That means either if we stay in the Conference League, we have 5 more games in August. If not, we have a few more weeks to train and prepare for the Europa League, and this is what we will do. This is our job. This is why we get what we get paid for, to prepare the team and be ready for every competition that comes up. And this is how we will deal with it.
Well, Oliver, enjoy tonight. Congratulations again, and thank you for joining us on talkSPORT.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Winning gaffer there, the Crystal Palace manager, Oliver Glasner, with all the lads in the background sounding very happy, Pards.
Yeah, jumping in and out, hollering in the back, which you'd expect. One thing he said there, which, you sort of lose sight of, is the extra games that they got to play quite quickly in the conference, which they wouldn't have to play in the Europa League. So unfair, really. You win the cup and then you get sort of, not dumped in that competition, but you know what I mean. Relegated to that competition.
Can they get a bit of good luck tomorrow, and hopefully it goes their way?
Yeah, I just hope so. Well, it's a good omen today.
Loads of people getting involved on 03717223344. Lots of WhatsApp messages coming through as well. Hi, gents. Up the Eagles until next week anyway. Given Chelsea's further centre-back woes, more today. What about Gahey to the bridge? Champions Leagues and a lot of games for the seasons. What do you think? That's from Norm the Blue. Well, of course, he come from Chelsea.
Well, exactly.
Why would he go back there?
Yeah, well, this is the point. A lot of these players... look at Palmer coming out of Manchester City. Mm-hmm. A lot of these young players who are moving and Palmer in particular, to try and address the financial issues, because they're all profit, of course. And your boy who come on today, Harvey Elliott, again, who might be sacrificed at Liverpool purely because he's going to be a profit. No, he's
not from Liverpool's academy because he's
that's Fulham, right. There's probably not a great example. But Gahey was one of those. He got released. It wasn't good enough, and now
Chelsea are renowned for it because there's loads like.
They have so many going through the books there. Yeah. They're going to make the odd mistake, but that's a big mistake because this kid, I think, certainly left side centre back, probably the best in the country.
Yeah, and he's hot property right now.
And a captain, of course.
03717223344. Liverpool fans, do you agree with Virgil van Dijk that there's a lack of forward options for you? Are you more worried about your defence And should you be looking to sign the Crystal Palace captain, Mark Gay? On that point, Palace fans, can you keep hold of your double trophy-winning squad and manager? 03717 22 3344. It's the final word on talkSPORT. That's right, it's the final word phone in here on talkSPORT. A little bit funky underneath us right there, Pards.
Was coming there.
Yeah, I know. It's just fellows in some Berlin nightclub. They're coming back to the crazy party with Imagine Pards. Right, if you've only just tuned in, you missed a brilliant game at Wembley where Crystal Palace defeated the Premier League champions to win the Community Shield, and this is how it sounded on the brilliant talkSPORT.
Under Wembley's arch, with a packed stadium split east and west into north and south. There's lots of red and blue, both who want to look forward. It will be fascinating, Dean Ashton, to see how both edge into the new season. Wirtz tries to send it forward. Ekitike with a shot into the far corner. What a start for Hugo Ekitike from the edge of the penalty area. He arrows the ball into the far corner. Ooh, that was sharp. That was class. Mateta steps up to face Alisson, right-footed, and sends it straight down the middle, and Crystal Palace equalise. Ball goes over the top from Frimpong, and it beats Henderson with a deflection over his head and into the net. And in the 20th minute of the game, as the crowd were paying tribute to Diogo Jota, and then Wharton sends Sarr away into the penalty area, heavy touch, but then he finishes off the inside of the post. Crystal Palace equalise, and once again at Wembley they're glad all over. 5 of the last 8 Community Shields have been decided by penalty kicks, so this one is going the same way. Left-footed, drives the ball high into the net, and Crystal Palace celebrate. They win the Community Shield with a fantastic penalty from Justin Devenny.
That's right, you wait for a trophy your whole life, and 2 come along at once, Pards, just like buses.
And how good was Sarr? I mean, he sort of, goes under the radar a little bit. In all those big, high-profile games, he's been excellent.
He really has, and perhaps Palace fans are glad he's gone under the radar a little, because there'll be more people looking at him.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned his name.
Now, before we get back to your calls, let's now hear from Liverpool's title-winning manager Arne Slot. After their defeat this afternoon at Wembley, he shared his thoughts on the team's performance with talkSPORT's Alex Crook.
That depends on what you would call a chance. So there were moments where they threatened us, but that's also their playing style. If you bring every ball from the sides in the box and every ball in behind the last line, sometimes things look dangerous. But if you just look at actual chances, then it's, in the first half it was the one where he went one-on-one, but that resulted also in a penalty. So there was one moment. I don't think we conceded much more in the first half, and also the first 25 to 30 minutes of the second half I don't think we hardly created. But what keeps in our mind the longest is the last part of the game, and there they scored the 2-2, and afterwards they had chances to even score the third. So then all of a sudden people are like, oh, you gave away a lot, which I don't think we did, but too much to win the game.
That was the Premier League winning manager Arne Slot talking to talkSPORT's Alex Crook after losing to Crystal Palace on penalties at Wembley Stadium earlier today. There's a bit of conflicting conversation from Virgil van Dijk talking about, the lack of forwards in the Liverpool setup at the moment, and then Arne Slot talking a little bit about the defensive side of things.
He was defending the defence, actually, somehow. The bottom line was that game, and as a manager, I know that feeling. He feels like the last 20 minutes overemphasised the game. Do you know what I mean? Like that period is in everybody's mind that Palace really started to make inroads.
Yeah, they was on top, weren't they?
But he is correct in that assumption, because the first 60 minutes, they did look quite solid. They looked, a bossy team, some lovely one-touch football. They looked,
first 10 minutes, if they took the chance, it would have been 3-0 up.
Yeah. So I can see, I personally think that he played the 2 new wing-backs today, and I don't think he'll start the season like that. I think he'll start, with names that have played there before, solid base, and build them in. So that might be something in his thinking, that he just wanted to see them on a big stage wearing the Liverpool shirt. So I could see why he chose those. But when you look at them as a unit, you still got to say that they're the team to beat. Obviously, today wasn't their day. Palace definitely had more energy, and that would be where I would worry if I was the Liverpool. The motivation, the energy is something that's going to be very, very important for them in the next 38 games in the league. You only got to slip up 3 times, and you're probably going to not win the title.
Yeah.
So you must start the season with energy and see the whole season through.
It all starts on Friday, doesn't it? Here on talkSPORT.
An amazing season we got looking forward. Because Man United, we'll speak about them later, they look like they're reborn to a degree, which is great for the Premier League. And everybody else, particularly the top strong teams, have strengthened. And now it's the turn of the middle section and the lower section to do their business.
And there's a lot of business to be done. We had a message here from, they've not left their name, but said they paid absolutely nothing for Harvey Elliott from Fulham so they could make a big gain. They stole him from us. I do recall that he went from Fulham for a very low price, like £4 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So there is profit on that, like you mentioned before. Chris has messaged us, said Gay should spend the next season at Palace and then next summer choose the club he wants, Madrid, Liverpool, Barca, Man City, and pocket a huge signing-on fee.
Well, there's some logic in that because, he will become very sort of viable financially probably for the rest of his life if he lets this contract run down. But, he's a God-fearing man, is Gahey, and he'll do what he feels right for his family, whether that's to stay at Palace for that year or to move on.
Absolutely. Right, 0371722 3344. As it finished at the Sheffield Wednesday game, Leicester 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And if you just joined us, Crystal Palace are the winners of the Community Shield 2025 after beating Liverpool by 3-2 on penalties after a 2-2 draw in normal time at Wembley Stadium. Let's go to Simon. He's a Liverpool fan. He joins Madge and Pards. How are we, Simon?
How we doing, lads? You all right?
Yeah, not so bad. What did you make of that?
To be fair, lads, I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch it, but I listened to it on talkSPORT. So,
well, that's good.
To it, I literally, I've had my son all day, so yeah, I've listened to it on talkSPORT today. To be fair, I've been a Liverpool fan for a long time, lads. About 15 years now. I'm 34 now, so I've been a Liverpool fan for a long time. But they normally they don't fare too well in the like pre-season games and stuff like that. But then they'll kick on in the actual season. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get that. And we were saying this before, Si, about,
Si, who did you support from 0 to 19, by the way? I've done my maths.
Sorry?
Who did you support before you started supporting Liverpool?
To be fair, I never used to like football.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I started liking football. Then I started supporting Liverpool since I was a young lad.
Okay.
10 years old, lads, to be fair, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But what was it? Was the game not too good then? I didn't actually see it, to be fair.
It was a good game. I think the thing is with Liverpool, with the signings that you've made, I think a lot of people probably expected you to run away with it today. But I think that what we saw from the game today, especially Pards, was the energy that Crystal Palace brought. They definitely took that all the way until the finish line. And they were deserved winners, in my opinion. I thought Liverpool started off really well. Ekitike looks like a player.
You're doing a very good summing up job here, Madge. Yes, you've got it almost spot on. Carry on.
Yeah, and Ekitike looked fantastic in the first sort of 10 minutes. I think Liverpool could have been a couple of goals ahead.
Fritz?
Wirtz was fantastic. He's some of his sort of distribution and the one touches he was taking in the middle and just allowing the play
on the half turn,
allowing the play to flow. Yeah. And that's where I think Liverpool can be really dangerous going forward. And I think perhaps as well the idea of getting Isak in would be a good idea. Simon, is Isak a must-buy for Liverpool now?
Oh, maybe so now they've let Darwin go and stuff like that. Let Darwin go and I think Harvey Elliott's... is Harvey Elliott on his way out the door?
Well, there's talk of it. There's a lot of rumours. I actually did see Harvey in Ibiza earlier this summer. I had a chat with him.
I rate him, man. I do. I rate him.
He's a great player. He was the standout player for England in the Euros.
Yeah.
And
exactly that. Yeah, exactly.
At his age, his calibre of player now, he wants to play football.
I'll tell you what, the Majestic, like what price do they want to pay for him though? Do you know what I mean?
For Harvey Elliott, I think you're going to be looking about at least 40 million. I would have thought.
No, I mean Isak. Do you know what I mean?
Isak, you mate. Listen, Newcastle are probably going to try and slap on towards 150. That's what it's going to be.
Too much in it.
3 years on his contract, Pards?
Yeah, I mean, the transfer to me looks like it can't be done because I think Newcastle are going to dig their heels in now, and I think they're angry, and I would be if I was in the Newcastle board. I would literally really dig my heels in now.
Well, the thing is, Pards,
so therefore the fee could go really silly.
Well, we've seen it. We saw it with Harry Kane and Spurs. He still had 3 years left on his contract when he tried to sort of manoeuvre and move to Manchester City. Via talking to Gary Neville on a golf course, right? Yeah. And I think
you haven't forgot that, have you?
No, I can't ever forget it. I'll forget it when he comes home.
Okay,
but is that right now?
Well, listen, the problem with Isak is he's handled it so badly. He couldn't have handled it any worse. His agents and his advisors have said to him, look, throw down the tools. Don't, you're not going to get involved with Newcastle at all. After, serving that football club, and that great football club, by the way, and he's doing really, really bad things, in my opinion, to actually hold them to ransom, to sort of more or less force a way out.
We don't have to sell him. We don't have to sell.
And he's been on, isn't he? What's his name, that fella?
That fella's on the sports bar a lot.
Yeah.
I love him. We don't have to sell. But he's right. They don't have to sell.
I can hear the passion, the Geordie passion coming out in you there.
I know. But they're right. He doesn't have to sell. I'm interested in if Liverpool think that Isak is the answer to what they necessarily need, or would going by Ngahi be the thing that would shore up Liverpool going forward for next season to go and win the Premier League again and possibly the Champions League?
Well, as he said, you've lost three players, three forward players at Liverpool. They've brought two in, so I do think there's room for one more.
Yeah.
So that is probably where they're thinking. But as I said to you before about transfers, they take a sort of course on their own. At first, it feels like it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think the club feel like that as well. Oh my, we're going to perhaps we're going to have to do him. Let's put a fee on him. And then suddenly it turns where the club go, well, hold on a minute. Now, actually, this is totally unfair. This is wrong. No one's going anywhere. And I think Newcastle are moved into that area.
Absolutely. We're going to be speaking a lot on transfers during the show today because it's going to be a busy period over the next couple of weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah. As a manager, right, would you lobby for the transfer window being shut before the season starts?
Yes. I've always said that.
It's so frustrating, isn't it?
And the problem you don't, we hear about Isak because he's a high profile player, big club, etc., etc. But almost every Premier League club, there'll be a player who is manoeuvring.
Yeah.
Strolling around in training, making it very clear to the boss he wants to move, or he has a better financial sort of offer elsewhere for his agent, or his agent's revving the player up. So don't think that no club is involved. All the clubs are having it, right? And it's a real problem in the game. Shut the window beforehand makes life a lot easier for the training camp, for the managers and the coaching team.
Yeah, it'd be nice to start the season with the players that you've got for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And as we go into the season, you're going to start seeing players left out like Wissa. Is he going to play for Brentford? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? In that period. So, it's things like that where, it becomes, I just think it becomes unfair for fans, actually.
Absolutely. 03717 223344 is the number to call. You can also send us a WhatsApp on that number as well. It's Sunday. The game's back, baby. It's Madge and Pardew
baby
on talkSPORT. It is the final word here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, and former Crystal Palace manager and player who's glad all over this afternoon, Mr. Alan Pardew. Pards, another trophy for Crystal Palace this afternoon. Those fans are going to be over the moon, and deservedly so.
Yeah, and, obviously looking for that result on Monday to come in terms of Europa League action, and hopefully they get that as well, which will be just reward for winning the FA Cup. Somewhat against the odds, as you would expect. But it was a great season last year with Newcastle winning, Palace winning the FA Cup. Let's hope this year
Spurs winning the Europa League.
Spurs win the Europa League, getting a trophy. So, some of those old, things that you had to carry around with you, baggage, has been thrown off. And let's hope this season is just as exciting. Hopefully the Premier League title run will be a bit more interesting.
Well, the Championship's always very interesting. It's the league that we do love here on talkSPORT. And speaking of baggage, there's a lot of baggage going into the season for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes.
Losing at the King Power today, 2-1 against Leicester City. Jeff Peters was there for talkSPORT 2 today. And joining us on the phone is Sheffield Wednesday fan John, who was at the game today but was stuck outside. How are you, John?
I'm very good, thank you.
Tell us more about the situation today, John. So you've gone to the King Power to watch Sheffield Wednesday play. What happened?
Okay. The situation was really bad. We were stuck outside the stadium for over 30 minutes. Obviously, there was supposed to be a protest. We've obviously Chancery and everything. Right. And the protest where we got to the ground, we were going into the concourse. But they were saying there were only 1,000 people could go in the concourse. So then there were like 2,000 Wednesday fans trapped outside the stadium.
Wow.
And they were pushing and shoving and everything else. And I couldn't believe what were going off. And it took me 30 minutes to get into the stadium. Yeah, I'm just talking to a policeman now. Sorry, sir, I'm on the phone to talkSPORT.
But everybody is.
Yeah.
Care.
Right, okay. So the police don't care, obviously, you just heard him say it. Right, nobody cares about Sheffield Wednesday fans because I've just got a police that's sending me onto the coach. I can have the conversation on the coach. I'm just walking onto the coach and they're looking at me as though they're going to arrest me straight now.
Wow.
And I've done nothing wrong. And I've just said to him, I'm speaking to you, and they just, it's as though it's like going back 30 years ago. I'm on talkSPORT. So, and it's absolutely diabolical.
And
the way we're being treated down here as fans.
And who's behind, ushering you around and not being able to get into the ground?
Well, the police outside the ground, and I spoke to the police outside the ground and said, it's nothing to do with us. That's what they said. It's nothing to do with us. It's inside the ground. They won't let you in. So we don't go inside the ground. So then we got inside the ground, and when we're inside the ground, all of a sudden, 200 police walked into the ground, watching over us, and we'd done nothing wrong.
That sounds like a bit of overzealous policing by the sounds of it.
It was absolutely pathetic, to be honest with you. And, I've been in bad situations before, because I go all over watching football, watching England, Sheffield Wednesday for my troubles, and this was as bad as going abroad to watch football.
John, was the protest, I'm assuming, was your own fan base protesting about the ownership? And was it like it was all going to take place on the concourse? What was the concourse got to do with it?
That's right. So, because they said that only 1,000 could go on the concourse.
Yeah.
And people weren't moving up, so they locked the gates outside. So it was like 4:30 it kicked off. 5:10 I got in there.
Wow.
Thank you very much, John. Sheffield Wednesday fan sounds distraught, to be honest with you, which is not what we want to hear from people that are making their way up and down the country supporting their football club. Supporting their football club in dire times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously they want to protest about, the fact that their playing staff and the staff that work at the football club, the chefs and everybody, are not getting paid. So they're trying to support their own team and their club, of course, who are in big trouble with the owner who doesn't want to shift on. Is hanging out for, it seems like there's consortiums in the background who want to take Sheffield Wednesday. I noticed because I had taken some calls earlier in the week on talkSPORT, and I spoke to Barry Bannon, who unfortunately got sent off today in that process. That this is a terrible situation for this great club, and it looks like
founding member of the Premier League.
Yeah, who have gone obviously there today to make it clear they're going to make a protest, and it looks to me, or it sounds to me from John's kind of report there, which we had live coverage of. That maybe they've been a bit overzealous in policing that protest.
And yeah, it'd be interesting to see, where they got their sort of information from and why, as John compared it to the likes of going abroad with football. And for those that have ever been to an abroad game, it's very heavy-handed.
Because I can't imagine that Leicester, the people that work at Leicester wouldn't have a lot of sympathy, which they would, for Sheffield Wednesday. And I think they actually were applauding Sheffield Wednesday fans today when they was coming in the stadium. So, you can imagine Leicester was probably, quite happy for them to do a protest, if you know what I mean.
They were, as they made their way to the seats, they were applauded by the Leicester City fans.
That's my point.
Because they can understand,
So it can only have been the policing, really, which unfortunately looks like it's just, as I say, perhaps been overzealous. But unfortunate for John. He's only gone there to support his team and can't even get in the stadium.
Well, Chris has brought up a valid point on the text or on a WhatsApp on 03717223344. He says that, protests against owners are normally at the home ground, which is a good point. But this is the first game of the season. This is the first time the Sheffield Wednesday fans have had to have their say. Of course, the players had their say by downing tools for a friendly, refusing to play.
Yeah.
So the fans are having
It's the first port of call, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To make a stand.
And you know what? We talk about the idea of, you said it already earlier in the show, Man United being contenders again this year, looking like they're going to be good. It's good for the Premier League. A club of Sheffield Wednesday size, Hillsborough, it's an iconic ground.
Yeah.
It's a club that, like I said, a founding member of the Premier League, 92 to 2000 they were there. It's a huge city. To see where they're at now is such a sad state of affairs. And we've seen with your previous club with Reading and how close that was as well.
Absolutely. And many others. The problem that you hope is that Leicester won't get sanctioned by the EFL, for whatever reason, where they're trying to fulfil fixtures. They've lost 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever of their best players. I'm not sure if there's a transfer embargo about bringing players in because they're not paying players. I'm guessing there is.
I think they've got a couple seasons now.
So, the problem is the owner, and that's what the protest was about today. I don't like criticising the police because I think there's a lot of police bashing goes on in this country. And obviously their first and foremost job is to keep people safe. So, we must sit on the fence on that one in terms of criticising them. But, it must have been an unusual scenario, the away team coming to a protest in a Premier League game, and probably, as I say, they probably didn't manage it very well.
Absolutely. 03717223344 is the number to call. Liverpool fans, what did you make of that today? Crystal Palace fans, if you are celebrating right now, if you're on the way home, if you're still out...
Of course they're celebrating.
Of course they're celebrating. Well, come celebrate with your former gaffer and former player. The guy who scored against Liverpool in an important game for you. Mr. Alan Pardew. It's Madge, it's Pards, it's Sunday. It is the beautiful final word on talkSPORT.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, sat in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina, when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano or Seve. There's no Steve, there's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Good evening, this is the Final Word, phoning with Majestic alongside the show's very own final boss, Mr. Alan Pardew. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, there's the IB for final boss, and then there's the Premier League final boss, and that's Alan Pardew. Keep your calls coming into us on Palace's fantastic victory in the Community Shield as champions Liverpool were defeated in a thrilling penalty shootout. Slot wasn't happy with his defence at the end of the game, as he told talkSPORT. Liverpool fans, do you agree? And Pards would love to hear from some delighted fellow Eagles tonight, 03717 223344. And Sheffield Wednesday fans, the phone lines are also open for you as you head home after your defeat against Leicester. Come and tell us about how worried you are about the future of your historic club. And if you were part of the protest today, coming up next, Pards and I will be looking at the pre-seasons of Arsenal, Manchester United, and discussing if they're going into the season with a glass half full or half empty. Remember, we are now live on YouTube, also on Smart TV, and you can watch us in HD in our brand new studio, which we've been waiting for weeks on end. But now it's all about you, your opinions, 03717 223344. It's the Final Word on talkSPORT. What do you make of the new studio parts? We're hearing a glorious. I feel like I'm on the telly, Mum.
Telly.
I feel like I'm on telly.
Yeah, I have to say it's a beautiful studio. I'm a little bit disappointed we haven't got the view out to the beautiful London town. That has gone. Now we have a nice big screen, which at some point will become useful, will it?
The view,
at the moment,
the view's still behind there. You can still sort of put your head, like the window's still there.
You can still.
You can kind of put your head behind the TV.
Yeah, but you used to sit here and we could see the weather coming in, coming out, get a feel for what's happening outside.
It is a beautiful view from the new UK Tower.
17th floor.
I know.
And we just put a great big TV in front of it. I thought it was a touch screen or something. Maybe it is. Maybe we can use it. Maybe we can utilise and learn some tactics.
You're listening to Alan's Grand Designs on talkSPORT. Exactly. You're not putting a big TV in front of your 17th floor view, are you?
No way.
03717 223344 is the number to call us if you want to celebrate, if you're a Crystal Palace fan. And I tell you what, there are Palace fans waiting to talk to us this evening. Let's go to Lee, who's a Palace fan who was at the game. Good evening, Lee.
Hi, Madge, you okay?
I'm very good. How was it at the game today? Is that Lee, the Cuffley chairman, by the way?
It is, mate. Yeah.
See?
We met back in June at my tournament.
We
at
did
Cuffley, if you
indeed.
remember?
So Lee is the chairman of a local football club around my way, Cuffley. Great football club. I actually played for them for one season when I was younger.
Okay.
And he's a huge Palace fan and a fan of yours, past. So,
well, that's good.
And he was telling me how happy he was when you won the FA Cup and how much it means. He has to leave Cuffley quite early to go to Selhurst Park on a match day. So another victory today, Lee. 2 trophies in a matter of months.
Yeah, it's mad, really. We've sort of been, supporting the club 40 years, been going 20 years. And I don't know if Pardew agrees, but there's something different about this Palace team at the moment. They seem to sort of I remember playing Liverpool, Man City, and sort of hoping it's less than 5, But now with this current Palace team, you feel like you've got a chance. And did against City and did again today against Liverpool,
I mean, they're going toe to toe with the big clubs, but not just in the in these 2 big competitions. In that league program last year, they were embarrassing a lot of the top teams because they looked the more solid, they looked the more affluent, they looked offensively the more dangerous. I mean, the problem, Lee, we're going to have, and I'm sure you're aware, is actually keeping it all together, and that's been the problem when Palace have had great teams in the past. And fingers crossed, Lee.
Yeah, it's been a problem, sort of like being a Palace fan, like you say, many years, keeping hold of. So we get these good players and just keeping hold of them, and sort of I was keeping an eye on Eze after the game today, and he didn't sort of join in as much, and I was reading too much into it because he missed his penalty in the shootout. But that's the key, is keeping them big players. But then we seem to sort of find another one very quickly, because Glasner's a very good manager.
Well, that's absolutely right, because of course when Wilf left, he was one of the most magical players I've ever seen over Palace. Yep. And and now then you had Elise, and Eze.
That's my point, though. That's my point. And Ian Wright before him, and we've lost great players who are very much the cornerstone of the quality of the team. And Eze will be a massive loss, and Gahey perhaps even more so. So as good as Crystal Palace scouting is, and it's been excellent, particularly the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years, they've been right on the money, competing with the Brightons and the Brentfords for the kind of blue ribbon of transfer, policy. But, I think at this stage, with 3 weeks left of the window, almost impossible to replace.
Absolutely. And Lee, who did you go to the game with today?
Me and my daughter Tia, same as we went to all the last 2 Wembley trips, the semi-final and the final. And then the same as we do for the home league games and sort of most away games, me and my daughter Tia go. And just on the way back now, back to Cuffley.
Tia will be getting used to this winning luck.
That's mad, because I'm 55 and sort of haven't seen one much really, and she's 16 and seeing 1-2 cups, so I told her not to get used to it.
Great stuff. Yeah. And how's things at Cuffley? All good?
All good, yeah. First team started yesterday. The top team played the runners-up. We played Chipperfield, who won the league, and drew 1-1. So, and we're actually, we've got our first home game Tuesday, but we've got it at Wormley. We're ground sharing at Wormley at the moment. We've got a problem with our pitch.
Oh,
and Wormley have kindly lent us their pitch for our first home game on Tuesday night.
Oh, very nice of Wormley.
Well done,
that's community spirit there, Lee.
There you go.
Yeah, good. Wormley's a good club, run by good people.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Lee, and big shout to Tia as well on the way home. That is Lee and Tia on the way back to Cuffley after seeing their beloved Crystal Palace win yet again.
Yeah, and on a brand new pitch, which I thought was quite amazing, because we had the Oasis concerts, didn't
yes,
you? And they had to get all of that infrastructure out and put that pitch down, and it played really well today. I mean, in the past when Wembley have done that, I remember particularly there was a horse show. I can't. Maybe some fan out there will remember it. There was a horse competition or something at Wembley, and England played on the pitch, and it was like carnage, in terms of trying to play a game of football on it. And it just goes to show the technology that's in use now. That pitch.
We was on that pitch 3 weeks ago, weren't we, for the boxing?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Been a lot going on at Wembley.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They've got the funds, but also the technology to make sure that the surface comes in, a Deso or whatever it is, comes in and works absolutely perfect. But well done to everybody at Wembley for that turnaround. Amazing.
Absolutely brilliant.
And they're going back there, I think, in a couple of weeks. So they've got to put it all back
Yeah, no. 03717223344. Let's go to Gary, a Liverpool fan, joins us on the show. How are we, Gary?
Oh, good evening, Madge and Pods. How you doing, boys?
Very well, thank you for joining us on the show, mate. Listen, with these sort of community shields, sometimes I feel like the bigger clubs, and you're one of those. Like, it's neither here nor there if you win it. Did you go into that game today like wanting to win? Obviously, you want to win games, but are you that disappointed or?
I thought personally, I watched the friendly games leading up to it, and I felt we was playing like fitness catch up, where we're doing like 45 minutes. We was really good and sharp in the friendlies, that is. And I felt today, I thought, we're going to be a little bit the same. And funny enough, a little thing I just want to mention, I was drinking with Alan Pardew's old mate, Alan McCleary, Friday night. I don't know whether you...
Of course, Big Alan, the centre off of Millwall. Fantastic player. And Charlton.
He was down at Charlton with you, wasn't he, Alan?
Yeah, he was, yeah. An absolute top lad.
He says hello.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. But getting back to our point, and the only thing I think we're missing in the window, I like Gurhey, and I'll tell you who else hasn't been mentioned for Palace. That Walton, superb, right? Yeah. Really forward-thinking passing player. But I also think Liverpool need a screaming midfielder. I think we're crying out. We've not replaced Fabinho since he left. So if we could get someone to screen like that, Man United have been linked to that Balaba, and I quite fancy him. Like I think he's a really good player, and he's going to be one of them that's going to go up. Either him or Walton would be good signings. Obviously, up front we're really light because unfortunately we lost Jota terribly. Yeah. So we do need a more strengthening. I know people have gone with all the glam with Liverpool. Well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But I still think we're very light because when he made the subs, we didn't really have a lot to change up front. Once we took Ekitike off, we had to put the two like 10s as strikers and play Mo and Gakpo off of them. So,
for me, I think you really missed Gravenberch today. I'm such a fan of him. He's such a good player. And that's the kind of player that you're talking about, in terms of another one of him would be good, really and truly, with the amount of games that Liverpool are going to have next season to compete with. Because him missing today, I just felt there was a little bit of bite missing.
Yeah, but also his creativity.
That's what I'm saying. He's able to do both, isn't he?
Yeah, because he gets on the half turn and balls are played into him in tight areas. He's not scared to sort of take it around the player rather than play backwards. And when he does that, the pitch opens all up.
Yeah.
And then your number 10s are in play, etc., and Wirtz will have a field day with him in the team. But, when he is not there, as you say, maybe need to, have a look at that.
Because, clubs like Liverpool and these big teams to win things like the Champions League and the Premier League, if you want to, do numerous...
But you've only got to look at Man City as an example of Rodri, how difficult that position is. Do you know what I mean? That position is so key, and you can't underestimate it. I was lucky enough to have Mascherano, who played that role for a number of years before he went centre-back at Barcelona. It's a really important role. You've got to kind of pre-see things. It's a bit like that, Tom Cruise movie where you pre-seeing the deaths or the murders. I can't remember the name of it.
Minority Report, was it?
Correct. But as that in that role, you got to pre-see the danger, and that's not a skill that everybody, particularly midfield players, can adapt to.
And in the way that the game's played now, that role has become so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, like for example, if I move to Spurs and look at Spurs, we're massively missing that player.
Well, you got Paulinho.
Paulinho, that's why he's been brought in.
Yeah, who's actually superb at it.
Yeah. And I think before that, the last time I had someone like that was probably Moussa Dembele, who had a bit of both of that to him. Do you know what I mean? And was able to, like you said, preempt things, the people around, and then get the ball moved forward as well.
And he was another player, who could get on the half turn and create from that position. See, the problem you can get a destroyer do that role, but then you can't really build for him.
No.
So he has to, it's like you got to wear two hats in that role in the modern game.
Yeah, that's why for me as a Spurs fan, when we had Wanyama who had a really good season as a destroyer and Dembele next to him, that's when we were
at your best.
Yeah. And I think for Liverpool, I think, he's right in saying that somebody else alongside Gravenberch in that area, either to play together or, as a replacement when he's not around. I think
Jones, you look at him and, there's times when could he do it?
Yeah.
Do you know? And I
definitely potential there.
Yeah, I really like him, and I think when you look at how much power they got offensively now, particularly in the sort of number 10s and the number 8 role, it might be worth him angling into to try and work at that position.
Yeah,
for a career for England as well.
03717 223344. We're going to be speaking about Manchester United as well, about their pre-season, and has the signings brought the feel-good factor back to Manchester United. Our very good friend Jill, who listens to the Final Word every week, our very own Jill, she's texted us as well. She's listening, so I'm sure she'll be waiting with bated breath to listen
our
to
our pre-season report.
And because yours is quite glowing for Man United. 03717 223344. It is the Final Word here on talkSPORT. Are you ready for the final boss parts? Final boss. Can you hear the music?
Yes. Who's final boss? Who is he?
Jack here, get the know.
Jack near, get the
Jack here, get the know. The final boss. It's been the most viral thing in the world this week, to the point brands like EasyJet have been using this guy's image to put holidays out. You know,
really?
Become the IB for final boss. Book a holiday now. I've seen literally even talkSPORT used because Jamie O'Hara's on holiday in Mykonos.
Right.
They made him into the talkSPORT final boss, which was pretty funny. But yeah, this is how viral things can go. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is a bit strange. Obviously, I've got two daughters that, TikTok in and FaceTime or whatever they're doing, Facebook, whatever. Show me the odd clip here and there, the odd funny. I mean, it can be very, very amusing.
But this is what's happening. It's been turned into a serious record by house music royalty and DJ producer Carneo Beats is his name.
Hold a minute. How's he royalty? Never heard of him.
Because you're not deep into the underground house scene, are you?
Okay, all right.
But Carneo Beats is a legend.
It's in your eyes, is he a legend?
In my eyes,
well then he's a legend to me then.
Right. And he seen the viral video, sampled the guy's voice, they turned it into a record, it's coming out.
Well, it's got number one written all over it.
It could go number one, couldn't it?
That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
The final boss. Well, you are listening to the final boss of talkSPORT. That is Alan Pardew, who is the former Crystal Palace manager and player who, was very close to winning something at Wembley with Crystal Palace on a couple of occasions as a player and a manager. And now your former club go and win 2 trophies in the space of a couple of months. Make it look easy. Oliver Glasner,
Amazing.
How good is he?
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's come in and transformed that team with his own style. Also, the formation is changed through him, and everybody looks like a round peg in a round hole. And that's always a good sign at a football team, isn't it?
Well, there was a lot of square pegs in round holes last year at Manchester United.
Yes, there was.
And it is time to talk about Manchester United on a Sunday.
Yes.
Because we talked about them a lot last year, didn't we?
And it's the season hasn't kicked off, so.
So, last year, if you did listen to the final word, the record-breaking final word, which probably a lot of you did because we had good numbers. Thank you very much.
And hopefully we'll have some more numbers.
Exactly. Definitely because we won't be talking about how bad Man United and Spurs are every Sunday, which is what we did last year. Last year was definitely a Spurs against Man United, who could be the worst, and then it crescendoed in them having a final, which was awful. That was an awful final in the Europa League.
But, that Thursday night fixture in the Europa League is, it's very difficult to transfer that into a Sunday performance. And, of course, Man United and Spurs suffered massively from that too.
And neither of them will be doing that next year because United aren't in Europe and Spurs are in the Champions League. So that won't be happening.
Yeah.
So we'll be having a different show on a Sunday this season. But Manchester United in the window, they have gone and got Cunha. They have gone and got Mbuemo. They've gone now and got Šeško. They've managed to get Rashford out. They've got, Garnacho's on the way out. I saw Garnacho at Ibiza Airport, actually.
Okay. Speak to him, have a little chat.
Young Will that works with me?
Yeah.
He realised it was Garnacho. He's like, look who it is. He was in front of us, and the security bit. He goes, look, it's Garnacho. I was like, I looked, and then we saw his watch. Yeah, it's definitely Garnacho.
So a telltale sign of a pro footballer.
Yeah, he's the kettle.
Is the big old lump on the wrist.
And it feels like, looking at the way that Amorim's done, he has created harmony again in that dressing room with players that want to be at Manchester United. The Man United fans are very happy with the signings they brought in because, Mbuemo, Spurs wanted him.
Well, let me just a couple of things on that. Cunha did the job in the Premier League for Wolves.
Yes.
Right, excelled. So you almost know you can transfer him to Man United. He should be able to produce that form because he's shown that he can do it, right?
Wolves,
And Mbumo's been doing it for what?
Yeah, Mbuemo's been doing it for a couple of seasons now.
Yeah, perhaps more than that, right? 3-4 seasons. So I think for the first time when I'm looking at Man United signings, I'm like, yes, this is what you want to buy. You want to buy good characters. You want to buy players who got quality, who have proven Premier League products at those smaller clubs. Now the challenge is, can you do it on the big stage? I think they both will. And then they've taken Šeško. Now Šeško's a little bit different because he's a young striker. They've more or less put their hat on him. And Højlund, bless him, who had a difficult year last year, looks like he's on the move. So the transfer of playing staff looks like good moves, right, at the moment. But there's an old PR machine moving at Man United. There's no doubt about it. Did you see the launch of the training ground, Carrington, the revamp of it, Madge?
Yeah.
You have to say it was really impressive. And the PR team was in full mode. Obviously, Alex gets wheeled out to do the honour to the ex-secretary there, Kathy, bless her, who I met, who was an absolutely beautiful, lovely lady. So a nice placard of her. The architecture was off the charts. The facilities look great. And all of that, of course, with the new players, will lift someone like Fernandes massively. You know, so there's a real good feeling vibe coming out of Man United. It does strike me that, you know, the money that they're spending and the cutbacks that they've made and the pricing still feels a little bit off. I still think there's some room, you know, to engage with the fans a little bit, some sort of gesture to kind of say, yes, you're important as well. You know, they've more or less gone, the first team is really, really important. Let's get that all nailed down. And we had a lot of Man United fans, didn't we, talking about the disabled access, the stewarding, the ticket pricing, how it was all changed, you know, it was all getting cut back.
We had some really sad stories on the show.
Yeah. So, I mean, the PR machine is in full mode, you know, and at the moment, looking great. And as I've said to you before, the Premier League really does need a strong Man United, and hopefully we'll get it this year.
A lot of other listeners will not agree with you and be very happy at the demise of Manchester United.
Absolutely, but that's only their rivalry speaking.
But the Premier League as a product, if you're looking at it as a marketeer.
Well, not just that. I also think, you know, any you know, you want to go as a team, you want to go to Manchester United and try and turn them over when they're great. Go up there and turn them over when they're average, like you boys did, like last 2 or 3 years.
Listen, because we beat them 4 times.
Just how it hurt you there.
Just because we beat them 4 times last season. Listen, but lots of
times,
4 times, mate. Yeah. There've been a lot of unhappy fans on X after their game against Fiorentina yesterday, though.
Yeah, the performance wasn't particularly great, was it?
No.
Oh, there's a big question mark still. I am trying to put a positive spin here.
I'm dual like that.
And you're trying to, like, you know, puncture my inflatable raft.
Well, I'm just offering a voice of reason to your Manchester United loving, right?
Yeah.
And
I still feel, by the way, at the back, I
agree with that.
I still think
they've spent so much money on their forward line. For me, the first thing that is wrong with Manchester United is their goalkeeper. That goalkeeper, Onana, is not the one, in my opinion.
Okay,
right?
That is your opinion.
Did you not see the goal he let in against Spurs?
Listen, I'm not defending that player. I think he's a bit inconsistent to be Man United.
Just a bit.
I agree. So, but I just think the back five, it is with Amarin, looks vulnerable.
Yeah,
I would say that.
So unless they're going to try and outscore.
But the stats, you know, he's worked off the stats. The stats say defensively they were okay, and attacking wise,
they couldn't score.
Let's improve that, and everything will improve. When we get a goal lead, we will actually feel more confident defending. I actually disagree with that philosophy. I think they need Gahey. If I was them, I'd go and get him, make him captain.
You don't think about Manchester United as a prospect for Gahey?
I think he should be.
Why? But if you're Gahey, why would you leave Crystal Palace, bit of European football, whichever form?
Listen, let's not. Look, I'm not going to upset any Crystal Palace fans tonight because they're on a little bit of a high. 2 trophies, well done, absolutely delighted. Let's not try and sell all the centre half. Although I do think it would be great for Man United.
Before we go for a short pause, Man United have spent over 200 million on that front three. Yeah,
they made Rashford out the door.
Yeah,
Nacho but looks like he's going out the door.
Yeah, but Rashford's alone, right?
Yeah, but with a view.
Yeah, with a view. But for now, it's alone, so there's not money in. Garnacho, hopefully they can get that done with Chelsea, which it looks like. But they had loads of redundancies and they got rid of like key people at the club.
That's my point that I was trying to make earlier. It seems like there's been a lot of pain lower down the levels there. And now, you know, all these big players are coming in, everyone's applauding.
Yeah.
You know, we must look at the whole picture there. And I do feel that Jim Ratcliffe needs to kind of do something for the fans.
Well, we'll keep talking about the next here on the Final Word on talkSPORT. That's right, it's the final word phone in with Madge and Pards, as they left that bit off on their little jingle there. It is with Madge and Pards every Sunday here to give you the reaction to the games that come before, and of course we get straight into it next weekend as the season returns. Looking forward to that, Pards. But we're reflecting today off the back of the weekend where the Championship reignited again. It started, of course, on Friday night as previous Premier League stayers last season. Ipswich held Birmingham to a draw at St Andrews in a feisty affair that saw a 95th minute penalty being converted for Ipswich to spoil the party at St Andrews. And then we heard earlier today, of course, Jeff Peters at the King Power as Leicester beat 10-man at Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, holding on until they went down to 10 men, and then it finished 2-1. There was talks of a protest there as well. And, of course, in the Community Shield earlier today at Wembley, Crystal Palace won their second trophy in a matter of months as they beat the champions of England, Liverpool, 3-2 on penalties after a 2-2 draw in ordinary time. Me and Pars now talking about Manchester United. Of course, we spoke about them a lot last season. So let's go and take some calls. We got Michael, the Man United fan, joins us on the final word. Hello, Michael.
Good evening.
How are you, mate?
Great show as always. No, I've just finished my gaming room. You've just got a new studio. I've just built myself my new studio.
Ooh, nice. What's in the studio? Tell us more.
I've got monitors, stream deck, mixer, microphone, headphones, lights, cameras, action.
Nice. I like that. Where is your studio based?
It's in my house, actually. It's my man cave.
Oh, the man cave. Listen, you got to have a man cave. Have you got a man cave, Pods?
Everyone's got to have one.
Well, no, but yeah, in COVID, I bought a motorhome.
Did you?
Yeah, obviously to get about a bit if I could, once the rules were slackened when Boris, changed his mind.
Do go out, don't go out.
Yeah,
do
go out, stay out. Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
And that become like my little refuge. I used to go and have a cup of tea on my own and have a little think time.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
You still got it?
No, gone.
Sold. Yeah. So talk to us about Man United, Michael. How are you feeling with the season coming up?
Brilliant. Like I said to you before, and I say it again, we've now got leaders on the pitch this season.
Who are those leaders for you?
And Bromo, Konya, and if he puts his act together, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, he just needs to stop throwing his toys at the pram, doesn't he?
He does, but them two, he might keep him in check.
But also, the fact that, for me, Bruno denied that big money move to Saudi shows that he has the intent of being at Manchester United, and I think that's a really good thing for the fans to see.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this season. Obviously, off the pitch antics with Jim Ratcliffe, because I watched the overlap. He said that this club would be skint at Christmas. There's no money, no cash. Got rid of all the things that he's got rid of, what I disagree with. The way he treat the behind the scenes sort of thing, getting rid of people. And now we're spending over 200 million plus. Now, to me, I lost my job through COVID, no one's fault. I got made redundant. This is disgusting when you think about it that way. When you're spending that sort of money, you go, hang on a minute, ticket prices going up, off the field antics. On the pitch, it looks pretty good.
Pards, you already mentioned this. This is something that a lot of fans are probably looking at, not just Michael. That, you've made all of these cuts and all of a sudden there's £200 million in the kitty. But it's, cursed if you do, damned if you do, damned if you don't, almost.
Yeah, there was obviously parts of the business that the owners, let's just not say it's at Jim's door, but the owners of the football club thought they could, cut back in certain areas to boost the funds of the club and to improve the financial structure of the club. They hurt a lot of people in doing that, and I don't think they were particularly cathartic in the way they went about it to people. So, there was a lot of upset, and we know that because we had a lot of callers on, and a lot of staff lost their jobs there. And as you say, suddenly they seem to have this huge transfer, kitty that they still seem to have some room on. You would like to think that, just a small pocket of that could have gone to make that job that they did a little bit more kind of feel-good friendly.
As it stands, the front three that they've got, has cost 225 million, right? Out the door, you mentioned Rashford, but that's a loan. Lindelof and Ericsson, they're gone, so that's off the wage bill, but...
Released.
You release.
Yeah, Harrison, Shrewsbury loan.
The
young players out loan.
Daniel Gore, etc. Johnny Evans retired.
Garnacho is the one because he comes straight off the bill, so to speak. And obviously the new transfers, you're going to pay, you're going to spread that over 4 or 5 years, whatever the length of the contract. So, when you start nailing that down, it's probably about 50, 60 million, those 4 players this particular financial year. So, that's how they maneuver things now. And this is how, they're kind of put in debt later on in the years and hopefully turning around the business at the football club to pay for it. And I think that is where perhaps there's some sort of defence of what they've done in the background.
And a message here from Jack. He said, Man United are not going to improve this season. Defensively, they are a liability and rely on Bruno too much to create chances. Team full of individuals, and let's face it, Leeds are coming for them this season. Marching on together. Here they come, Leeds United.
Great to see them back.
So good.
Yeah.
That Leeds Man United game, infamous. Let's go over to Jill. Jill joins us. How are we, Jill?
Hello, Marge. Hello, Pod. How you doing? You're looking really good, by the way, both of you.
I'm going to blame the new studio for us looking good. It's
Do you think it's the lighting?
It's the lighting. We don't fancy because of the lighting. And you know what? We didn't even try to sort of monochrome tonight. He's in white. I'm in black. It works.
Like us.
I'm just going to put a positive spin back onto United. I'm quite happy with the players that they've brought in. I think Amrin's getting a chance to bring in his own players. I agree with Pards totally about the back, though. I go and get Gahey as well. And the keeper, I think he's okay. I still think we need to bring in somebody else, though, to give him a run for his money a bit.
I agree with that.
I don't know who that is, but I still think we need to bring somebody in. And I think Garnacho's going. Rashford's wages are being covered. I'm quite positive, to be honest. I'm not going to go harping back to the other stuff because I want to be positive this season.
Well, I think with the lack of European football is going to be a real positive for you in the league.
On that subject, Madge, I want to wish you all the best in the Champions League. And my question is, how far do you think you'll get?
Well, in the Champions League, it all depends on us and at the moment, lack of signings. We need to sort out this whole number 10 situation. Morgan Gibbs-White not coming and Maddison being injured. We definitely need to go out and buy someone. Don't know who it's going to be. But again, with Spurs right now, I just think it's, Thomas Frank, we're stepping into the unknown, so to speak. It's going to be an interesting season for Spurs and a difficult one because of the amount of games we're going to play.
A lot of pundits, I noticed, are tipping Spurs to be the dark horse of the Premier League, i.e. to have a great season.
Well, it can't be any worse than last year, Premier League-wise, can it?
No, I don't.
Otherwise, you're getting relegated.
No, it can't get worse. But I actually, at the moment, I don't see them in the top 6, 8, me.
Top 6, 8?
What?
The top 6 or 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's Spurs?
No.
What, with a team of... Let's just go through the team quickly, that if Spurs can get it together.
Oh, well, hold on a minute. Don't start doing transfers that are not done yet.
No. But I'm just saying about the Spurs team.
Yeah, if it stays fit, yeah.
Okay, so you've got Vicario in goal, who I'm still not entirely sure about.
Okay. How long is this going to take, by the way?
Seconds.
Right, go on.
Right, so either Udogie or Jed Spence left back.
Okay.
Then you've got Van der Ven and Romero.
One of the best centre... Well, they're great centre pairing.
Yeah, right back, Porro, who not going to be so exposed now.
Hopefully.
So in front of that pairing of Van der Ven and Romero, you can have Polinia. And then you can have Bentancur and, say, Assar, for example. And then you've got Kudus, Solanke, Tell,
Yeah, that's my point.
Johnson.
Exactly what you just said is my point.
Not good enough.
I don't think so. Not to be in the top 6. But I think I will pitch them between 6th and 8th. That's where I'm pitching them.
Okay, so who's the top 6?
Top 5 you're talking about. So they could be 6th, couldn't they?
Yeah, okay. So who's in Arsenal,
definitely.
City,
definitely.
Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Who's the next one?
Well, I think there might be another one. Who knows?
Or Man United?
Maybe. Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace.
Forest have lost Elanga.
Just trying to think. Leeds United.
No, definitely not.
No.
But Forest, I don't think, are going to be the same as last season. Don't forget as well, they got Europe to put into the mixer. Crystal Palace have got to put Europe into the mixer. The European games on Thursday is going to have a big say on next year's league.
If they go through all the stages, who's to say they won't get knocked out? Anyway, the bottom line is none of these clubs, Everton included, right, haven't really done the transfer business yet.
Not yet.
And nor have Spurs. So let's wait. But at the moment, I'm pitching them there until such time as you bring in one or two others, which I'm actually expecting you to do.
Who do Spurs need?
Who do Spurs need?
As a manager,
I think you need a number 9.
Who's the number 9 though? Where are they?
Well, Jackson's available. Would you take Jackson?
I've got this feeling that when Jackson goes to his next club, he's going to be tremendous. And do you know what? Do you know who I think should buy him? Newcastle. Cool. I can see him becoming a Toon legend.
Possible. It's possible, but his numbers sort of don't really add up. He doesn't really take enough chances, when you look closely at the stats. But, he's only a young player. He is going to improve. He's got an attitude about him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he has definitely got, I am a top player attitude.
Oh, yeah.
And I quite like that. That, that can get you a long way, that. But let's see. You asked me my opinion, and I've told you. I see Spurs between 6th and 8th at the moment, and with the great manager you got.
I agree with you on that.
Okay, well, that's good then.
Because unless we're going to, say, for example, we went and signed Eze, then there's maybe a different conversation.
Maybe.
03717 Yeah, not a bad shout. 03717 22344. It's Madge and Pards here on talkSPORT. Why on earth have we turned into a techno rave on a Sunday evening? What's going on with it? DJ Kitsch has gone to Berlin this weekend. He's gone to the Berghain. Hallo und willkommen back to das Final Werden with me, Majestic, alongside the super manager, Alan Pardew. Hey, Alan, do you like techno?
I quite like techno, yeah. But, you know, Berlin's a great town. City. You work there?
I have actually, yeah. But
clubs are a bit...
Very famous club called the Berghain. And, like, basically, you can't get into it.
Oh, wow.
It's world famous. It's just like they turn you away at the door like you're not coming in.
What, because the dress code, or
it's like they look at you,
out, you gotta look sort of out left field a little bit.
Yeah, they look at you and know if you are one of them or not.
You'd get in, wouldn't you? I wouldn't I?
No, you'd be straight in.
No, I don't think so.
Hello, is that Alan Pardew, the Eagles manager, former player?
The RAP round the back.
It is the final word here on talkSPORT. Imagine Pards in our glorious new studio. That's why we keep fiddling with things.
Yeah.
As we get used to our new surroundings, including these lovely in-ears.
Yeah, these ear things are not working, are they?
Well, the TV start in-ears. They do work. It's just...
yeah. Got to get ones that fit.
That's why you get them moulded. Like, you get your own ones. Mate.
Oh, does talkSPORT pay for that?
I don't know.
No. Okay, just checking. See the producer saying no out there.
Jill said, I didn't get a chance to ask Madge who comes higher, Spurs or United. She wants to bet me. Friendly bet.
Well, I think that's a good bet. Well done, Jill. I think that's up in the air. And you both had such awful seasons. The only way is obviously up. And
can I ask you something?
Going to be more up than others.
I know Šeško is young. He's 22, isn't he? I think about 22. I will double check exactly how old he is right now.
But
he is 22, right? So Man United have spent 75 million euros on him.
Yep.
Okay. He scored last season in 33 games for Leipzig, 13 goals. The year before, he scored 14 goals in 31 games. Just to compare him to Harry Kane, who scored 26 goals in 31 games in the Bundesliga, and the year before, he scored 36 goals in 32 games, right? I know Harry is a world-class striker, playing for Bayern Munich, yeah?
Yeah.
However,
go on.
Why is Šeško going to be any difference to Rasmus Højlund?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Why?
Well, Højlund come with a very similar reputation. The reels, right, of Šeško, which everybody probably watched, particularly Man United fans that have watched them, he looks impressive. He plays for a team that presses the ball, so his work rate is there. His stats look really good. When you look at his work rate, his expected goals, etc., there does show real potential. But then Højlund did too. So he does need to come and hit the ground running, and Højlund did not do that. And I do feel for that young chap who looks like he's being now sort of asked to move on. And again, I think Man United probably going to need that transfer fee to happen, as well as Garnacho, to sort of balance the books. So let's wait and see on that. But, Šeško potentially looks promising. I think, I don't want to be unfair on Højlund and say he looks more promising than Højlund, but he certainly has the attributes to be a number 9 in the modern game. I think he's got certainly more firepower behind him than Højlund had, because Onyini Cunha's at the club, Mbumbo's at the club. And there's a little bit more offensive kind of chances, action going to take place.
So Højlund cost them 77 million from
they love
Atalanta.
That fee, don't they?
Yeah, and he was 20.
Yeah.
As I say, Pards, I want to know what separates Šeško from him being another Rasmus Højlund.
Well, you have to ask the Man United transfer team, right? Jason Wilcox, who probably leads that, exactly what is the difference between the two. I'm probably sure they could do a lovely presentation and explain to us exactly what it is. But, when you look at the numbers between the two, there's not a lot in it. But on character, you would have to say that Šeško looks like he's got a little bit more kind of oomph in him to do that role. You're asking, again, a 22-year-old to be the number 9 at Man United, which is the same equation. Remember, we talked about it last year, as Højlund being the 20-year-old number 9 for Man United. It's not an easy job.
No, and again, just looking at Højlund, when they bought him, he had a season at Atalanta, didn't he? Scored 9 goals in 32 games for them. And previously to that, he was in the Austrian Bundesliga and scored, how many goals here? 3 goals in 5.
No, it wasn't great, his record. But do you remember his video, like when a player is signed, you get a lot of these kind of clips coming out, right, of their goals, And Højlund's was a particularly impressive goal where he gets it and he runs from the halfway line-ish really fast. I mean, like double quick time. And at the time I was thinking, well, Man United, 90% of their games, the team's camped in. There ain't no room. No. So I was thinking he ain't going to get a goal like that for Man United.
And he didn't.
And he didn't get those goals where crosses are coming in the box and it's a one-touch finish or pullbacks or finding a little bit of space or nicking a goal or creating a wonder goal while sticking it through someone's legs, lifting it over someone's knee and volleying it in the top corner like Rooney did or Van Nistelrooy or a number of other names you can mention.
Somebody said to me, go and have a look.
York.
It's true. Somebody said, go and have a look at Alexander Isak's goal ratio before he joined Newcastle. You look at that in terms of...
Yeah, of course you're buying potential. And you've got to hope that, as I say, Højlund unfortunately didn't hit the ground running. And I think his confidence suffered from that. And we're hoping, and the Man United fans are going to really hope, that Sesko does the opposite.
Yeah. 03717223344. Let's go to Andrew, who's a Sheffield Wednesday. He's the first time called. He was at the game. Hello, Andrew.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, very good. Tell us more about what happened today for you when you went to King Power.
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest with you, lads in our car at the minute, we were expecting to go down there and get a good thumping. Prem team coming down. We got 13 players, believe it or not, which is a astonishingly low number.
Yeah.
But we fielded a decent team. We've got some young players out as well. Barry Bannon signed for us, and he's a talisman and a leader in team. And first off, I'll be honest with you, Leicester fans might disagree, but not just the score. I think we held our own. We were the better team first off, but we've not played a single minute pre-season, and that showed in second half. We were, some of us players were absolutely tired out. You could see they were very leggy. And that just played the part in the second half, I think.
Yeah, and I just add on that fact, Barry's second yellow card was he was too slow actually into the tackle. I don't think he purposely, tried to hurt the opposing player. It looked a bad challenge actually on TV, but he was tired, he's lunging, and that usually is a sign of fatigue. I mean, it was explained. Did you, just out of interest, Andrew, did you have any trouble getting in the ground?
None at all. And I've got to say a massive thank you to Leicester. Just from my perspective, they were before the game. There were lots of communication. They knew that we were going to protest, and they allowed us to. And we got in nice and easy. Really, we were really good. Thank you.
Okay, good. Because we had a caller on who had a lot of problems, but maybe hopefully he was well, not hopefully, but there was just a few issues rather than a big issue. So it sounds like
there were nothing on the turnstiles we were at, mate, and we were I'd say about halfway back in the crowd. So yeah, that were really good. And I think the protest I hope came across really well on the TV. And we've had enough. Enough's enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
The size of our club, we shouldn't be struggling with 14 players. No. We shouldn't be not paying players and staff. I've got friends who work for Sheffield Wednesday who are not first team players who don't earn $1 million a year, and they're getting paid at best £700 a month for the last 3 months.
Yeah,
it's an absolute disgrace, and I know the protest came across. We want him out. We need somebody in there who's going to support a club of our stature.
Is it? Where's the rich sort of Sheffield legends? People that come out of Sheffield who've done well in life. They need to go by the club.
No, I think there's consortiums that are ready to go.
Basically, he's just holding on.
It's just holding on, and one of the issues, which is a problem, which actually in the end Reading forced their guy out through the EFL mainly, is that there needs to be some kind of mechanism to move these owners on, to actually force them into some kind of sale.
Absolutely.
He's not paying the people. He's just sort of
should be sanctions.
Yeah, it's almost like the rules don't matter to me. Do you know what I mean? Like it's I'm too my ego or whatever. But the people who really suffer, of course, is people like Andrew and John who had on earlier. Who are genuine Sheffield Wednesday fans. And I know I talk for all talkSPORT when we say we're with you.
Absolutely.
Good luck to you.
And talkSPORT is your home for live Premier League football with games every Saturday at 12:30, as well as Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday lunchtimes, of course. And our action all starts with the champions Liverpool hosting Bournemouth on Friday evening. That will be an emotional affair indeed at Anfield. Coming up next, we'll talk about Newcastle with your former gaffer. Next on the Final Word on talkSPORT.
The Ryder Cup. Unique, euphoric, unanimously loved. Here's the history and some of the key numbers behind the contest that grips the world of golf and beyond like no other. The first edition was held in 1927, where a Great Britain team arrived by boat to play in Massachusetts at the Worcester Country Club. Originally, the competition comprised of 4 foursomes and 8 singles, with 4 balls not introduced until 1963. In the first 22 editions, when it was just Brits and Irish against the US, America only lost 3. So, in 1979, in came the rest of Europe, including the future 5-time Ryder Cup winner, Seve Ballesteros. Since Team Europe was established, the head-to-head reads Europe 13, USA 9. Home advantage is a big deal. Europe's last away win was the miracle at Medina in 2012, and America hasn't won on European soil since '93 at the Belfry. It's accepted that both teams tailor their home courses to suit their own players. For example, in Paris in 2018, Thomas Bjorn asked for the rough to be kept extra long beyond the green to target the big booming American drives. 10 years earlier, Paul Azinger did the opposite, and the Valhalla rough was trimmed right down. On both occasions, the home side were resounding winners. So what about the money? The most recent Ryder Cup in Rome drew in a record 271,000 spectators and boosted the Italian economy by €262 million. In the US, the PGA America TV deal with NBC is worth $440 million. But no Ryder Cup revenue has ever gone directly to individual players. That's until now. In 2025, for the first time ever, the US team will each receive a fee for playing in New York. Of course, in Rome, legend has it, Patrick Cantley refused to wear his cap because he wasn't being paid to wear it, though he insisted it simply didn't fit. Either way, Team Europe have made it clear they're more than happy to keep playing for the sheer thrill, joy
I'm the final word boss. Get the know. Madman. The final word on talkSPORT. With me, Majestic, alongside the experienced football gaffer, Alan Pardew. We'll soon be looking back at the return of the Championship, where people leaving early missed a ton of goals this weekend. We'll get stuck into a nightmare summer for another one of Pardew's former club, Newcastle. But right now, we're giving you the greatest quiz on radio. You know what it is, don't you?
Oh, no.
It's the Mystery Footballer Quiz. 3 songs in total, which will give you the clue. Remember, it could be the club he's played for. It could be a squad number, a nickname, or even a physical feature. I did this when I DJ'd at the Chris Eubank and Conor Benn fight. I walked away. I didn't play this record. I'm having nothing to do with playing this record again. I'm not going to ask Kitch to play it. It's nothing to do with me. If a song comes on next, it's nothing to do with me. Get it off. That is North London Forever, which is the Arsenal song.
There's no need for a juice to do that, is there? He's like rubbing your nose in it.
Well, I had nothing to do. I didn't play it. It was on, and I didn't talk. So, a bit like at the Spurs thing, I rubbed my hands a bit, but that is song number 1 in our quiz. There's 2 songs to go, but if you think you know it already, the texts are open for you now. Tell us the answer on 81089. Or send us a WhatsApp message to 03717.
So this super tough, like Ches-like quiz that we do, that's an Arsenal player, right?
Straight away.
Yeah.
So that's really narrowed it down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just angled it somewhere, isn't it?
We could have been a little bit less obvious, couldn't we?
Yeah. Oh, you'd like to think with, a bit more jeopardy involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, there you go. So it's going to...
Okay.
North London Forever. It could be someone from North London.
Okay.
But yeah, that is your first clue. And before any Spurs fans ever go at me, I didn't play it. It's nothing to do with me.
Let it go, Major.
I can't let it go.
Just let it go.
I've got a reputation to uphold here. Right. It is Majestic and Alan Pardew here on talkSPORT. Of course, Alan Pardew, the former Newcastle gaffer. So he knows all about that club. He knows what that club means to the city as well. And he'll know exactly what last season meant to the Toon Army. And we know what it meant because they called us the day it happened. It was on a Sunday. They beat Liverpool in the League Cup final, and it was a joyous occasion. Now, the joy in all that feels like it's kind of deflated a little bit now with this situation with Isak.
The pre-season, yeah.
Yeah. How tough has Newcastle's pre-season been because of that, Pods?
Oh, it's hard to quantify it when you're not in and around it. Exactly how difficult that situation has been. But when you get your top striker, perhaps the fans' number 1 player, wanting or obviously making moves to transfer to the champions, Liverpool. How can you possibly try to close the gap when you lose your best player to the current champions? So that makes it even more compounded, the issue. And Eddie's had to try and deal with it as diplomatically as possible. He's almost tried to kind of plant himself in a neutral zone and sort of say that it's the ball decision and trying to protect Isak. And it's been making it very uncomfortable viewing all round.
Well, let's hear from a Newcastle fan now. Mike joins us on the show. Good evening, Mike.
Hello there.
How are you feeling about the Isak situation right now, Mike?
Not great, to be honest. Obviously, I think he's had his head turned by potentially his agent saying, "Oh, you're one of the best strikers in the world," which, to be fair, he probably is, and you deserve this, you deserve that.
How much is he worth, Mike? How much is he worth to Newcastle?
Oh, at least 150 million or more.
Well, if Šeško is 75 million euros and he scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga last year, the man that scored 20 plus in the Premier League has got to be worth 150 pods, surely?
Well, Mike, let Mike answer it.
Mike?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Bundesliga is it's an inferior league, let's be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Šeško scoring 13 goals is... it's not all that, really, is it?
No, I mean, as I say, they feel, Man United must feel that they're buying potential, and that is evaluated in that fee. I mean, do you think, Mike, that Newcastle now, let's just say that the player's refusing to play, right? But Newcastle, why don't they fine him 2 weeks' money, right, which is the maximum you can fine him, and say you're staying? Get on with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, I would say that. I mean, he's obviously having a bit of a hissy fit, and like I say, I think his agent's in his ear saying, like, you're the best striker in the world, or one of, and you deserve this, you deserve that, and that's obviously led into this current course of action.
Yeah, and that current course of action, I'm pretty confident in saying, is probably orchestrated by his agent. I can't imagine the player just woke up one morning and said, "Oh, I fancy going to Liverpool, and I'm going to go on strike." There's obviously a team behind him that are all on the same course of action. Yeah.
I mean, it's very telling that at no point during this saga has the player actually came out and said anything. It's all sort of bluster, if you like.
Yeah, and the problem you've got, of course, is in that dressing room, they all of course want him to stay. Because, the team, let's be honest, the team is magnificent. It's probably the best team since Kevin's team, Kevin Keegan's team. So, it's a team that potentially, with one or two tweaks here and there and a bit of strengthening, has a possibility of winning the Premier League. But you need to keep Isak. And that's why I feel, if I was sitting on that board and I had a vote, I would say, no,
absolutely.
I don't care what they offer. He's staying. And Eddie, look, bless your heart, mate. I know it's difficult for you. Play him when his head's right.
We don't have to sell. We don't have to sell. We got the money. Mike, where are Newcastle going to finish next season?
Well, I mean, this is what I'd like to speak to Alan about, because obviously you're a previous Newcastle manager, and I think during your time you did very well getting that fifth.
Yeah, with a very different budget, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, during the Ashley regime, I mean, we don't need to go back to all that stuff. But why would you not say that Newcastle are going to finish in that top five now?
Well, now I could see I made an error there, because Madge put me on the spot about his Spurs, trying to say, "Oh, who's going to finish first? Who's going to finish?" And I panicked. So I missed Newcastle. You're right. They should be in there. Okay. And I hope Isak stays, because if Isak stays, let me tell you, he will get his head round it. Because if you remember, I had Kabay, and Kabay, his head was turned by Arsenal. He wasn't going to play. He refused to play, period, blah, blah, blah. We didn't send him to Arsenal. And actually, it took him about 3 or 4 weeks. He was fine after that. And I'm hoping that's going to be the case with your star, man. Let's hope so.
Brilliant, cool.
I certainly hope so too, yeah.
Thank you very much, Mike, Newcastle fan there. It's Majestic.
See, that's your fault, pushing me into that saga.
No. Listen.
You said to me, come on, who are they? Who are they?
Exactly.
Who's got to finish higher than Spurs?
Your first answers are your real answers. That's what come out really, rather than you thinking and being diplomatic. I got you on the spot like a true journalist, and you told me the truth. Talking to strikers, and because the show loves fresh news, we can tell you that Darwin Núñez scored his first goal for Al Hilal today.
Has he already played?
Yeah, in a 6-0 win
kind of didn't miss about, did they?
Money well spent. I'm sure the brilliant Trans-Europe Express will have more on that after us at 9 o'clock. They're record-breaking numbers. They're doing very well. But now, because it's Sunday, you know what we want, don't you? We want these.
On your WhatsApp is a very special place you can speak to Majestic. WhatsApp, baby.
Send us your WhatsApp, baby.
WhatsApp, baby, WhatsApp.
Final word.
WhatsApp, baby, WhatsApp.
The WhatsApp number is 03717223344. That's right, it is the WhatsApp number for you to send us your voice notes today. Pards, who would you like to hear from?
Well, obviously, the EFL kicked off, and which we covered brilliantly Saturday and all over the weekend. But I would like to hear from a few. I mean, so many late goals in the EFL.
Yeah.
So many late goals. Whether that was like the team weren't fit enough, you know, they got tired towards the end, conceded, or what was it? So, yeah, let's have a few moans and groans and a few, like, pats on the back.
Pats on the back for our mate Woody.
Woody got a great result.
Yeah, 2-0 against Barnet.
Yep. And
late goal in that as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a late goal, but they'd won it by then.
Yeah.
But I'm going actually Tuesday. They got Ipswich, the mighty Ipswich, coming down to Bromley. Would you have believed it in the Cup?
That is the League Cup, right?
League Cup.
And yeah, we're going to be covering that on talkSPORT this week. So if you was at a championship game or an EFL game this weekend, do let us know. Did you see some of those late goals? 03 717 223344. It's the final word here on talkSPORT. What a tune. Prince, Party Like It's 1999. There's a double clue in this one. The player loves a party, and he also won a Community Shield in 1999.
1999.
Of course, the first song was North London Forever, but we won't talk about that.
Oh.
Get your answers into text 81089 or WhatsApp 03 717 22 33 Party Like It's 1999.
Did we have a conversation once about Prince being one of the best guitarists ever?
We did have a chat about that, and the fact he played that solo on When My Guitar Gently Weeps with a whole heap of incredible guitarists and stole the show.
So, would he make the top 5, top 10? No.
Oh, yeah, definitely top 10.
Would he?
Yeah, top 10. 100%. I think he's underrated because of his artistry elsewhere. I think people forget how much of a good guitarist he actually is. He's just incredible.
Big Eric,
musician all
number
round.
one, is he? Eric Clapton.
Ah, Knopfler's above him for me.
No.
Are you crazy?
Eric.
Mark Knopfler, for me, is above Eric Clapton.
Slow hand.
Slow hand, yeah. Mate, what Mark Knopfler used to do with a guitar in Dire Straits.
No, I don't think so, mate. I think I've got to reel out a few of my mates who really know music to bring them in here because I think they'd defend Eric. I think he's the man.
Which one of these music mates of yours have become platinum around the world?
I don't know. They're like experts in the pub.
Yeah,
ones,
yeah. They got any
in a concert?
Got any platinum records under their belt?
Ah, no.
Yeah.
Now, come on, mate. Stop throwing your medals around.
Go in, yeah. It is.
I've had that on the training ground. What you want, Pardew? Yeah. I'll show you my Premier League medal out of the game. Oh, well done, mate. Yeah.
Show you their Premier League medal.
Yeah. All that. So you got all that banter on the pitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that. That's good. It is the final word here on talkSPORT. And look, Jake said Jimi Hendrix is the best guitarist of all time.
Jimmy, of course. Another from my era.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
You've got.
He used to play with guitar with his teeth and all that, didn't he? Like he's.
Oh yeah, he was.
He's a bit out there
and played left-handed as well, upside down. Like
he's slightly enhanced performances at times. You know what I mean?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Modern guitarists. I am a
go on.
Huge fan of Matt Bellamy from Muse.
Okay.
Tom Morello, of course, from Rage Against the Machine, insane guitarist. And people really undervalue and overlook the boys from Slipknot. Jim Root.
The boys from what?
Slipknot.
Is that a band?
So have you ever seen the band that wear masks and they're like, there's 9 of them on stage? It's pretty hard. It's hard stuff.
No.
It's that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But the actual technique.
The world's coming to an end. That kind of music.
The actual technique of Jim Root is insane. To play the stuff that he does, it's just unbelievable.
Okay.
There's also another guitarist called Malmsteen who's incredible. You should watch him play. He plays like classical music, but in a rock sort of metal way, and does these insane arpeggios. Anyway, I'm going to stop geeking out about guitars.
Jimi Hendrix 1, Eric Clapton 2. Well done. Rest down the bottom.
There you go. The guitarist debate goes on. I'll tell you what does go on is the late minutes and the late goals that happened in the championship for the first weekend. This is why we love the championship. Plenty of late goals. Which match do you want to start with?
My old team.
Yes.
Literally, I don't know, someone had one of those, which I quite like now. You know, when someone's filming, they're filming from the stand, like some, punter, and he puts it online, it goes viral or whatever they call it. And it was like that last minute guy all moaning, oh, referee, and then obviously he scores, and everyone's happy.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Wrexham, of course.
Don't. But my old team, Southampton, against my ex-captain, an ex-assistant, Parky, 3 promotions on the trot or whatever it is, now going for his 4th, winning 1-0. All looks safe and well. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it was Wrexham led through Josh Windas's first half penalty on their second-tier return after 43 years. But Southampton struck twice late on Ryan Manning's 90th minute free kick, sparked a dramatic 2-1 win for the Saints. They must have been gutted, Pards.
Oh, absolutely. But there's a couple of stories that there's a couple of Southampton players refused to play, I heard.
Oh, really?
Or weren't allowed to play.
Interesting.
Obviously, you got the is it Dibbling or what? I can't remember his name. Maybe going to Everton. That might have been one of the reasons. Who knows?
Norwich, they lost to Millwall 2-1.
No one likes us. No one likes us.
Langsdorff's late goal settled the tight contest on 83 minutes. Of course, today as well, Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday, 87 minutes of goal there. Stoke against Derby County, it was 1-1 up until the...
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's anyone can do that WhatsApp, if anyone was at the Stoke game, I want to know what happened there. 1-1, and then 95 minutes. And does that 99? Am I looking at that right, Madge?
Absolutely, yeah. It says Derby broke the deadlock in the 60th minute. Stoke hit back just after 10 minutes later and went on to snatch the winner in stoppage time with goals coming from Divin Mwamba and Sorba Thomas, who scored on 90 plus 9 minutes. John Eustace said, I thought we grew into the game. Stoke had a lot of possession without really hurting us. I don't think Jakey, their goalkeeper, had much to do apart from a great save near the end from the edge of the box, so we were disappointed to lose the game in the manner that we did. What's it like to lose a game in those late moments, Pards? Tell me how frustrating it is, Pards.
Well, I mean, obviously emotions are running high because, you know, when you concede such a late goal, you're at 10 minutes and you're in the dressing room, and of course, you know, there can be some scuffles and some finger pointing, etc., etc. And so as a manager, usually you're having to sort of piece that all together and like try to calm everybody down. I mean, you know, obviously you've lost your mind as well a little bit, so you're trying to keep it all under control. It's very, very difficult. It's hugely frustrating, and usually, of course, it comes from an error that you've made, and that's what makes it even more frustrating. That it could have been avoided. Of course, I lost the cup final when the Scalani, the Argentinian World Cup winning manager, smashed it straight to Stevie Gerrard when he should have smashed it straight out of play.
Yeah.
And things like that. So, you know, it's a really painful. I feel for all the managers yesterday. And then again, Birmingham were winning, looked like they were going to get 3 points Friday night, and Ipswich last kick of the game almost, boom, goal.
But, you know, in terms of starting your campaign in the Championship, for Birmingham, for example, of course, disappointing to not get the 3 points.
Yeah.
But a home game against a former Premier League team that have come down, one of the favourites maybe to go up again.
Yeah.
To get a point on the board, is that a good result?
Well, I think the performance level was such that if you're a Birmingham fan, you'll be okay. You'll be happy with that because it was a good performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I just got a message here from a Crystal Palace fan. Here's a fact for you.
Go on.
Oliver Glasner has now won the same amount of trophies in 3 months as Mikel Arteta has in the last 7 years. That's that for a stat. The Palace fans are jubilant this evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, you know, he couldn't have had
And to be fair, that's just the Palace, because if you threw in his Frankfurt,
he won a trophy, I think, the year before
in the Europa League.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah,
he's on a bit of a roll, isn't he?
Doing well, Glasner. 03717 223344 is the number to call us. Don't forget, keep sending in those WhatsApp. There's a few voice notes coming in. I can see them now. This is my call to the nation. You're listening to us right now? 03717 223344 is the number. You can send us a WhatsApp voice note. All you got to do is get on your voice note. And Pards wants to hear from anyone who's been at an EFL or a Championship game this weekend, especially those that saw the late goals. And tell us what happened. Also looking for some party and Palace fans after winning the Community Shield this afternoon. So if you're a Palace fan and you want to celebrate and give it the absolute bazzer, as we like to say on the show, then you can send us a voice note. Erin is ready to get them on air, so send them in right now on 03717 223344. Is that like our sort of summer transfer? We've upgraded from Teddy to Erin.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a big upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Teddy's on holiday for a long time.
We do love our Ted. I think there's space for both. Can we get them both in the middle of the park?
He might be listening tonight, do you think?
No, he won't be listening. No. We're going to hear from you next on The Final Word. Phone in. Tell me what makes me laugh in that little imaging before we come back. You know, it's like the final word on talkSPORT. There's a little man that goes, hello? Have a listen to this. It always makes me laugh. So this is our third and final clue for tonight's mystery footballer, Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. So the first song was North London Forever. The second song was Party Like It's 1999. And the third song by Ray Charles is Hit the Road Jack. And a message here from Matt, the Arsenal fan. He says, here's one for you, Madge. Glasner has one more than Thomas Frank. You can't let Arsenal be, can you? I'm just reading out what a Palace fan sent to me, Matt. I'm only reading out what you lot send me. If you include the Community Shield, Crystal Palace have won the most trophies in English football this year. That's from someone else.
That's true.
Hi, Madge. This is from Buki, the Arsenal fan from Essex. Hi, Madge. That last message you read out for the Crystal Palace fan is incorrect. Arteta has won 3 trophies, 1 FA Cup and 2 Community Shields as Arsenal manager compared to Glasner's 2. The Arsenal fans are all up in arms now because of that Crystal Palace fan. 03717 223344. So that do you know who the mystery footballer is?
Yeah.
You got it, yeah. 03717 223344. Let's go to Taz, who's a Spurs fan. Good evening, Taz.
Evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Yeah, very well, my friend. How's your weekend been?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just a little bit fed up of this Alexander Isak talk. I mean, like, I don't think he's worth 150 million.
Just looking at the money that's been thrown around for strikers, right? Like I said, Šeško, £75 million, scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga last year. Isak has scored over 20 goals 2 seasons in a row in the Premier League. And he is Newcastle's star man with 3 years left.
I feel like a deal of around about 130 million will get the deal done.
You reckon 130 million would get the deal done, Pods?
Yeah,
possible.
I'd say 130, because if it's 150 million, it's going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, it'll be the second expensive transfer after Neymar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, definitely, yeah, because Coutinho 146 wasn't...
You know, the problem with evaluation...
I think 130, 135 will get the deal done.
Yeah, but, you know, the problem you got with a deal like that is actually what the build-ons are. Do you know what I mean, Madge? You know, he wins the Premier League. Does he win the Champions League? Does he, you know, and then there's an accumulation of the fee. And it'll be how much up front as well, which will be a big concern. You know, sometimes these transfers, they want to only pay 40, 50 million up front, you know, and clubs can say, no, I want it, we want 100 million, and it falls down.
Yeah, definitely, because I think something will happen next week coming up, because with Van Dijk saying that they need more attacking players, I think, well, after Liverpool's, performance today, I feel like they might hit the panic button and think, right, well, we need to go out and get him now, because the season's going to start on Friday, so
makes a lot of
something
sense.
needs to happen. So I think there'll be something happening in the next few days. It'll be interesting.
Taz, before we go to your point quickly, just want to read this from someone on X. Says, hey lads, this is from Stu on X. He said, thoughts on Grealish to Everton. I know he's been linked to Spurs, Madge, but would you like him at Spurs? Until it's signed, it's up in the air.
Spurs, yeah.
You'd like him at Spurs, Taz?
Like him at Spurs. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, why not? Let's get him on loan and let's see how he does for 12 months. I think it'd be a good acquisition. I feel like Everton are really going, for a lot of midfielders. They've been linked with Dibbling, Grealish. They've signed Dewsbury Hall. But I think I'd love to have Jack Grealish. There's a lot of teams out there that hate him as a player. He's like one of the most powerful players. But 12 months, let's get him on loan. Don't know what to lose, have we?
Pard's thought on that is nothing. You get him on loan over Spurs, Champions League football for him in a World Cup year as well.
I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised personally if he moves right for a fee in this window.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of activity. So I think a loan move will suit Everton, Spurs, whichever club does the deal. It sounds like it's 10 million quid. So, it's not like it's an expensive loan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that sort of money, I think it'd be a good take for somebody. We're all hoping, aren't we, because of the character of the player, the style of the player, that he comes back to form. because he was a sort of breath of fresh air, wasn't he, for a long period of time, and he has an amazing ability to win set plays for you as well, which is a massive quality to have. He can manoeuvre the ball, and just as the player makes a tackle, he puts his body in the way, gets a foul, and you get tremendous positional play from him. So not only does he creates a load of set plays opportunities for you as well.
Taz, who else does Spurs need to sign, in your opinion?
I think we need a striker, because if you think about it, Richarlison is not really a favourite, and then we've got Solanke. He tends to get injuries, so where are the goals going to come from? We've lost Son, but we've got Kudus, we've got Matthias Tell, we've signed the defender. But I feel like we need another striker. But the thing is, which strikers on the market? I mean, there's not really a great deal out there, and if there is, they're costing a lot of money.
Yeah, I think when you look at your front of your team, you do need somebody else, don't you?
100%.
So what about Wasser, who's down the road, right? You've already done, some business with Brentford, right? So that's an opportunity. Jackson, just down the road at Chelsea. Are Spurs not rumoured to be involved with those two?
Jackson, there's a little. It
looks like Wasser may be done, doesn't it, to Newcastle? That does look like it's a done deal.
The Jackson one is rumoured. There is little bits of rumours. Okay. But the thing is, for Jackson, is he not considered a Chelsea flop?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think.
I can see Quizzy Rascal in the other room, and he's a Chelsea fan. Jack is. I wonder if we was to ask Jack, who is a Chelsea fan, whether or not Jackson is a flop at Chelsea. I'm sure he'd say he's not sure. He's not sure at the moment, so he's not. But you know what it is? It's like Chelsea's unwanted goods, but they've signed so many players, like good players, like Madueke going to Arsenal, for example. I do. There is a.
Oh, is that a Chelsea reject gone to Arsenal?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think there's such a huge turnover at Chelsea, right?
That's what I'm alluding to.
I don't think that you can call them failures. That some of them may not have opportunities. Jackson's a little bit different. He's probably had more games than most. As I say, his numbers sort of suggest he's around the 40 million mark. But he's only young, and I think he's a gamble that might be worth taking.
Right, let's have a look at it. In the Premier League last season, 30 games, 10 goals.
Yeah.
The year before, 35 games, 14 goals.
Yeah.
Right. If it's 75 million for Šeško in the Bundesliga, I keep going back to Šeško. I know it sounds like I'm obsessed with him, but I haven't. It's just like, well, they're not bad numbers, are they?
No, they're not bad numbers at all.
So perhaps
Chelsea ain't been a completely dominant force.
No.
But Spurs are obviously not that either. So it's you would think it would be a similar pattern at Spurs in terms of his ratio of hits, but his numbers and what he does are okay.
Yeah.
He is for me. If the price was right, I think he's a decent. Well, you can't call him a gamble. I think he's a decent take.
Okay, that's a good question. Newcastle fans, Spurs fans, Nicholas Jackson, is that someone you would take? I think Taz is still there. Should we ask Taz? Taz, would you take Nicholas Jackson?
Yeah, because Chelsea we want 80 to 100 million pounds, so they are comparing him to the strikers.
Okay, but, that's a lot of money, yeah.
No, they won't go for that money. No way.
Well, that's what Chelsea are saying, but I'm surprised a lot of clubs didn't go for Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, I was surprised at that as well.
Big surprise there. I'm surprised nobody went for him. There was lots of talk. But in the end, he went to Galatasaray of all clubs, which I found a bit wow, okay.
Yeah, but Galatasaray are one of those clubs that can produce an individual contract that can blow even the Premier League out of the water.
Really? Just one player?
Yeah, so, they will put all their eggs in one basket out in there. They're not bothered about the pay structure in the group and stuff like that. At Premier League clubs, you have to be a lot more diplomatic with the group. But anyway, that's a move to watch, because that doesn't mean to say that he'll stay at Galatasaray forever.
Yeah, brilliant call. Thank you very much, Taz. And of course, Spurs are in action on Wednesday, and it's on talkSPORT from 8 p.m. Paris Saint-Germain take on Tottenham in the Super Cup, presented by Adrian Durham. Commentary from Jim Proudfoot and former Republic of Ireland captain Andy Townsend. The one thing about PSG, of course, with Chelsea beating them in the Club World Cup, it kind of makes them look less invincible than they did at one point, Pards. but they're such a good team. I can't see Spurs beating them personally.
Not the way you're shaping up at the moment. You know, you've had a big defeat just recently, and PSG, I think, will be hurting from that World Club Championship that have loved them. It sounded like they had the shirts printed and everything, so they were ready for it. Unfortunately, Chelsea made it not possible, so they'll go again. I mean, he's got a fantastic team there that are so young. I mean, they could remember AC Milan. I remember AC Milan with Ruud Gullit. You know, that team that went for like 3-4 years. You know, dominance in a European trophy, and I think PSG could do that. They got the potential to do that.
03717 223344. Still to come, we'll reveal who our mystery footballer is and go through your WhatsApp messages. It's the final word here on talkSPORT. Song number 1, North London Forever, as part of our quiz. I'm not playing it, I told you that once. I'll tell you again. And then it's Party Like It's 1999. Prince. And song 3, courtesy of Ray Charles, Hit the Road Jack. Hit the road, Jack. And the answer, of course, was...
Arsenal royalty. talkSPORT royalty.
Yep. Ray Party Parlour.
Ray Party Parlour.
He won the Charity Shield in 1999.
Why have we put Ray Party Parlour in the middle? Why have we put Party?
Because that's his nickname, isn't it? When it's like, Big Al Michelle and Ray Party Parlour.
Oh, okay.
He won the Charity Shield in 1999. Scored a great goal in the FA Cup against Chelsea, didn't he?
Great player.
Top bins. I remember that FA Cup very clearly. For personal reasons, I won't go into. He's going to be joining Super Ali McCoist on The Breakfast Show tomorrow from 6 a.m. Skippy, the Villa fan, was the first person to get it right. And we doff our cap to Skippy for getting it right.
Skippy?
Yeah. Skippy, the Villa fan. Not a bush kangaroo. Now, we've asked you for your WhatsApps and you didn't disappoint.
You remember that Skippy the Bush Kangaroo? You don't. You can't do it.
Skippy, Skippy.
You just know
Skippy
the song.
the Bush Kangaroo. I don't remember that they used to play it on Channel 4.
Okay.
Jonesy, the Forest fan, sent us. Let's hear his opinion, which player we've forgotten to mention.
Lads, come on, you haven't mentioned Eddie Van Halen. Oh, the things he could do with a guitar. By the way, we were talking about Jackson earlier. He could knit a cow's backside with a guitar, so let alone a banjo. That's why I don't think he should go to Newcastle.
That's Jonesy, the Forest fan, talking about Van Halen, of course, so lending his guitar prowess for the solo of Michael Jackson's Beat It.
Yes.
Great solo, that is.
That is a great solo, yeah.
Next, let's hear from a Blackburn Rovers fan, a.k.a. Long Ball Rovers, as they was dubbed on Google this week. You not see that?
No.
Somebody changed their name to Long Ball Rovers.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know if it's still there. I'll check whilst we listen to...
smashing it,
We'll listen to Adam, the Blackburn fan, now.
Madge, Pards, it's Adam here, Blackburn fan. I thought the refs might be a bit better this season, but they seem to have somehow got absolutely worse. What is going on?
They are back to Blackburn Rovers on Google now, but the other day they were known as Long Ball Rovers. He's not happy with the officials.
No, that's never going to change. Every year we'll have the same issues with referees who are genuinely trying to do the best possible job they can.
And also, Matt, the Arsenal fan, sent us a WhatsApp message to say that he wants Jack Grealish at Arsenal.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we going to hear it or not? No.
No, it's just that was just.
Oh, just a message. Oh, okay. Well, I can't see that.
No. Right, Pards, it's normally any other business with Alan, but today's my business.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Good change up. I'll have a rest then.
Fight week in Saudi, of course. I'm heavily involved in the boxing when it comes to music, and
of course,
in my role as director of music.
And obviously, I have been your assistant.
You have been
at Wembley.
You have indeed.
Yeah.
And this week in Saudi, it's back to Riyadh, in the 44-degree heat,
in the non-atmospheric hall that they build, presumably outdoors. Do they?
No, it's indoors.
It's indoors. Is
heavily
air conditioned. Okay.
Yeah, very nice indeed. And bringing the vibes as we do. It's a big fight week. This week we're going to see Moses Aitoma take on Dillian Whyte. But not just that, it's a great card. Is
that the top of the bill, though?
That's top of the bill.
Yeah.
But Nick Ball takes on Sam Goodman for the WBA title in the featherweight division. Nick Ball, the smaller lad from Liverpool.
Okay.
Brilliant fighter. Great fight. That'll be a great fight. Ray Ford taking on Abraham Nova for the super featherweight fight. This, I really like the look of. Filip Hrgovic taking on David Adelaide in the heavyweight division. That is going to be a great fight.
Okay.
And then in the super featherweight, this guy is a Ring magazine ambassador. He is from Japan. Hayato Satsumi is his name. Satsumi.
So when you say he's a Ring magazine ambassador,
yeah.
So Ring magazine is owned by the Saudis, right?
Yeah, correct.
And that's sort of their publication to promote, right? So I'm guessing he's massive in Japan. He
is indeed. And he's
the man.
Been on a lot of the cards. He was in the card I was at New York recently. He was on the one we did in Times Square. Great fighter. He's fighting Kais Ashfaq in the super featherweight division. I probably said that quite wrong. But yeah, really good card. And it's in Saudi. It's going to be on talkSPORT, of course. We're going to be out there.
I haven't seen much promo about that yet. Does that all start this week?
Yeah, the big build-up, of course, will be the
weigh-in and music. And
yeah, it will all be there. Spencer Oliver and the team will be live from Saudi on their superb boxing channel, the YouTube.
We love Spencer.
Yeah, and of course, the YouTube boxing channel is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't subscribed already, I watch the videos on there all the time. Simon Jordan's got his own sort of podcast show on there as well. Brilliant show. Great for all things boxing. I think we cover the boxing so well here on talkSPORT. From the likes, as I said, Spencer Oliver, Gareth A. Davies, and my man Adiola Depot, and of course the Catman Adam Cattrall. We've got a great team who cover it, and all the team behind the scenes. They'll be out there in Saudi. In fact, they'll probably be heading there now. I've seen a lot of security guys. Shout to the Lions Den boys. They're heading over there now. It's a great fight week over in Saudi, you know, especially from my point of view. When I'm there, you're in camp basically with them all.
Yeah.
You get great access. I've been so close to some of the big names in boxing, and you know, whether it's been sharing a cold plunge with Jared Miller, or you know, being in a lift with Better BF, which is a very scary prospect because you know that man could absolutely destroy you.
You know what I think's been a real good thing, and tennis, I include this as well, and boxing, is they've changed from it being a kind of individual sport to a kind of team sport because they have a team round.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? They have a nutritionist, they have a doctor, they have an ex-training partner. It's great that they have the finance to do that. And so it's not like they're on their own, win or lose, it's all over, They have a team that can mentally support
Absolutely.
them and physically support them.
And the team around fighters is so important,
And great people, I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely.
People,
even the other day I see Joseph Parker, who for me is the gentleman of boxing. He's just
speaks very well.
He's a great guy. He's so deserving of a shot as well because he's been so active. And it was so disappointing to see that he didn't get that fight against Daniel Dubois in Riyadh that time.
Yeah.
And he put out a little music video to, Aha, Take On Me.
Oh, okay. Did he?
And he done it to Usyk, and he's like miming along. And then the boys from his team are on there as well, and they got really, if you haven't seen it already, go check it out. I think talkSPORT put it on the socials as well. It's going to be an interesting one this week. And of course, like I said, it's going to be on talkSPORT on Saturday night and on the talkSPORT boxing channel. So do get ready for that. Speaking of boxing,
question: when you say a boxing channel, talkSPORT's boxing channel, that's not live though, is it?
They'll probably have a watch along on the talkSPORT YouTube channel.
Talk you through it, sort of thing.
And you know what? They get thousands of viewers, and then the chat's really active, so they'll be listening to and watching the commentary. Speaking of boxing, Jake Paul against AJ. Does anybody want to see Jake Paul take on AJ?
I see. Is it Barry Earns, the young one, isn't he? No, Eddie Howe.
Yeah,
was talking it
Eddie
up
Hearn.
this week. Eddie Hearn, beg your pardon. Was talking it up this week, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, sort of, playing with it, saying he shouldn't be in the same ring, but basically saying, everybody wants to watch it, everybody should tune in, etc., etc. I'm dead against this guy. I don't like He's not even under any boxing control, or is he? Jake Paul.
No, I think he actually is now.
He is now.
Yeah, I'll have to double check, but I'm sure. I can't remember.
So it's not like some random event.
No, listen, I am gonna
sanctioned by the British boxing control.
I'm gonna give Jake Paul his flowers here.
But does that mean like you're gonna give him some good news?
No, I'm gonna give him the props that he deserves. He's worked very hard, really hard, to become what he's become. He's not going to be a title contending boxer anytime soon. Yeah, but he's worked really hard. And at the end of the day, we're in this world now. We've seen it, as I said, with the IB for Final Boss, where if you've got numbers or eyes on you at the moment,
entertainment, I suppose.
Clout, clout is everything in this day and age. It isn't like anybody that walks into a ring, whether it's doing white collar boxing, charity boxing, or at the top end,
dangerous.
It's so dangerous, And listen, I love a bit of, pad work, bits like sparring, etc. But when you're trying to stand there, stop someone from punching you in the face while you punch them in the face, it is no easy task. So Jake Paul needs to have his props for that. Should AJ, our, gold-winning Olympic fighter who became a pro that beat a generational legend, in Klitschko, who, was the golden boy of boxing, be fighting Jake Paul now? No, not for me. I'm like, just get the Tyson Fury fight on now, because everyone still wants to see that. Yeah. That would be, I think, for example, AJ and Fury having a fight, that would be their good night, guys.
Let's be honest. Usyk, right, now, legendary status.
Mate.
I still hope he walks into the sunset at some point, personally, in the next sort of 12 months.
He will.
I hope so.
I don't, apart from, again, people will be like, what are you talking about? He lost twice to him. Tyson on his day is the only person I think that can beat him.
I would say this. I think Usyk is my favourite athlete in the world at the moment.
So if it was like sports personality of the year, yeah.
In every sport.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
The way he conducts himself, he doesn't rubbish everybody. He's a family man. I like his dancing.
He's funny as well.
A bit of humour.
Yeah.
Yeah, top man.
He is absolutely brilliant. That is all from us today. But don't forget that Jim White is reunited with Simon Jordan and Martin O'Neill from 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. But if you need some music in your life, go to the talkSPORT app and swipe across to hear our friend of the show, Chris Evans, on Virgin Radio from 6:30.
And Ryan Tapperty at 10.
You love him, didn't you? Coming up next is the brilliant Trans-Euro Express with Danny Kelly. And we'll see you next Sunday. From me, Madge.
And me, Pards. Good night.
Good night.